Hello everybody and welcome to King of the Castle number 5. I am Kater and I am joined here by Quark.
Yes, and we are starting off with round 2 and we are going to be seeing Inkcraft Cult versus Tyrant Inc. Any thoughts on these teams?
Don't know much about Tyrant Inc., although they do ring a bell. Inkcraft Cult, I have fought good games against them before and quite enjoyed it, so I am just honestly very excited to see how the two teams go against each other here.
We've also got a member of the Wiggly Phantoms subbing for Inkcraft Cult. I believe they're mostly a Tri-Slosher player, so that should be interesting, especially on a map like Humpback Zone for Bucket Raid Supreme.
I mean, yeah, Tri-Slosher is exactly what you need here. With all the curves and the way this map is laid out, Tri-Slosher's abilities are going to be really useful here if they decide to pull that out.
I'm also anticipating quite a few Booyah Bombs coming out, because this is Humpback, so Booyah Bombs, just the shape of them works extremely well to try to cap. Like, one Booyah Bomb can generally cap the zone if no one contests it.
Definitely. I mean, Heavy Remix, K-Gal, maybe even Aero PG could come out. If all fine choices for that Booyah Bomb there.
Certainly, and other than that, I don't think we'll see too much in the terms of, like, super long-range weapons. I'd be surprised if anyone pulls out, like, an E-Leader or anything, but I definitely think weapons like Remix are fairly likely.
The thing with chargers on Humpback is that, you know, just with the shape of Humpback, because chargers shoot in a straight line in the first place, already the number of shots that they can take are limited from any perch on the map. And then when you factor in, you know, aim and stress of the game, sometimes it's just not worth it. You know, it really depends on whether you think that having the kit. For example, I've seen Firefin get pulled out here because of that bomb rush being able to put so much pressure on the zone. But that's if, you know, the person has confidence in their charger skills.
So it is pretty unpleasant when you misjudge the curvature slightly of the map and a charger peeks and shoots you.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Alright, and we've got a Blob Blobber and a Tri-Slosher coming out from the side of Inkcraft Cult, and we've also got an interesting double Booyah comp coming out from Tyrant Inc. with both the Dynamo and the K-Gal, which is going to put down so much pain along with the Junior and the that Splash.
Yeah, we hadn't talked about that, but Dynamo is another one of those weapons on Humpback Zones. You know, like you said, it just pushed out so much paint there, just a huge wave of ink going on in the zone. And already, that is Tyrant Inc. with the first cap and the Booyah Bomb already coming out. This Dynamo doing exactly what we were talking about, wave after wave of ink on the zone. But unfortunately, the Neo Splash is going to get taken out on the side of Tyrant Inc. And so that is a small opening for a momentary cap on the side of Inkcraft Cult. But then just right back to Tyrant Inc. as yet another Booyah comes out into the zone. Oh, very nice pick on the Dynamo there.
Yes, that was a nice pick, and it was interesting earlier to see Inkcraft Cult managed to get a counter push with one member 3v4, but they only got the zone for 2 seconds. So it looks like they've got another bomb rush coming out. They do have a double suction bomb rush comp with the Blob and the Splash. They're gonna be getting a lot of bombs. And it does seem like they got a few more points and a nice burst bomb sniped by the Splash. But even more Booyah bombs are coming out for the side of Tyrant Inc., which is making it difficult for Inkcraft Cult to get any points on the board.
Yeah, I mean, Tyrant Inc. just continuously having hold of the zone despite everything that Inkcraft Cult throws at it. We saw both the Bomb Rush and the Ink Armor, not the Ink Armor, the Ink Storm come out there. And actually,
nice double coming out.
Very nice. 2 down now on both sides. Ooh, Tri-Slosher doing what they do best. Unfortunately, not able to stay alive on their own. So that is still going to be Tyrant Inc. in control of the zone. Another pick coming out of the Neo Splash there. And right now, they've completely worn down their penalty and are taking down the points.
Yes, it was looking like it was going to go into the control of Inkcraft Cult, but that Splash just held the zone almost single-handedly for a little bit. We do see that Inkcraft Cult has special spray. They've got the Brain, they've got the Bomb Launcher, they've got the Inkjet. They can go in, but they're going to have to get to the Dynamo, and that Booyah Bomb's going to come right back out. It's going to counter. But they don't even throw at the zone, which might have been a critical mistake.
Well,
they throw another Booyah Bomb at the zone. But it looks like there's still bombs coming out of the zone. And an Inkjet. The Inkjet, no, they get a pick out of it, maybe? And they do go 2 down. Well, they've only got their third respawning just now. And then a nice pick from the Gal right over that ledge.
Yeah, I mean, despite Inkcraft Cult doing their best, expending all of their resources just to get back at the mid, Tyrant Inc. still has this iron hold on, well, the objective, what matters most, and they are just in this position with all of their specials coming out, the Bomb Rush at the ready, the Armor, and the Booyah Bomb getting popped, And the penalty already down. It's looking like they're in a very good position to KO if they can just hold on to this for a few more seconds. The members of Inkcraft Cult are now pushing back in. The rain, the inkjet getting popped as well, but the try on their side goes down, and with that, that is going to be a KO for I momentarily forgot team names. Tyrant Inc.
Tyrant Inc.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, that Kuit at the end was incredibly true, because it's just all the work, that all the paint that Inkcraft Cult's putting his own, one Booyah Bomb later, was gone.
Yeah.
And that's Humpback's O's for you.
Yeah, Booyah Bomb also eats suction bombs as well, just because, you know, it eats any bombs that it comes into contact with, and because
delicious bombs.
because suction bombs take a little bit to explode. If you time the Booyah Bomb right, it will just nullify a good chunk of it.
Yeah, and next we're going to be going on to Muscle Forge Rainmaker, which is quite the interesting map, given how difficult it is to push on this map.
Oh yeah, but once you get the push going, you know. Yeah, there's a couple of ways, both of them being pretty darn difficult to get. That there's the way taking the left rail, and then there's just the way down that long alleyway on the right. Both of them are quite literally an uphill battle towards the pedestal, and unless you have a wipe situation, can be really hard to get through.
Yeah, especially the shorter path taking the anchor rail after having to walk across the grates. To get a wipe, it can be incredibly effective and get you down to 20 points or lower, but if there's any resistance at all, that anchor rail makes it incredibly easy for some straight shots to take out the Rainmaker. What are you expecting to see with weapons on this map?
I mean, I would honestly not be surprised to see the Tri-Slasher come back. Although regular Slasher might fare a little bit better here, just because of the verticality of this map, these slopes that you have leading up into mid, and, you know, that literal uphill battle. The Slasher with a height advantage is not something to be messed with.
Yes, and I'll be interested to see. I'll be interested if the Dynamo comes out again, because Rainmaker is a much faster mode, but I think it definitely could be an effective pick for Tyrant Inc. if they do it again. And
yeah, that's true.
I don't think we'll see a double Bomb Rush comp come out either. From, I forgot which team. Which team? Oh, it was Inkcraft Cult that had the blob and shit. Which could work, but I would expect more bombs, if anything, from both teams.
That's true, yeah. Lethal bombs are really useful in Rainmaker just because, you know, the movement speed of the Rainmaker is automatically decreased. It makes it that much harder to dodge bombs, and once you have the specials getting thrown at you, stray shots from other people, it just makes it really, really hard, especially with the chip damage that bombs afford, even if they don't kill you in one shot.
And we do see the blob again, which actually, if they do run it, it's gonna have...
Let an undercover umbrella?
That's an undercover umbrella, it's a Sorella, that's my baby right there. Coming out. We've got a double shot comp actually coming out from Inkcraft Cult, but one of them immediately goes down. The K-shot going down would have been trying more long-range support, but they don't have it. The other comp going down, the Ray is already coming out from Tyrant Inc. with that Stingray, with that Sea-Jet rather. And it does look like they picked a stray shot, picked off the Rainmaker for Inkcraft Cult, but Tyrant Inc. is getting moving right again. Both teams have one down, but that Tri-Slasher on the side of Inkcraft Cult still respawning. Well, Tyrant Inc. doesn't lose another member. The Rainmaker's getting pushed, so they got a lot of bombs and the missiles coming out. Tyrant Inc. is going to go 2 down, and Inkcraft Cult does have a chance to set up some kind of push here, at least get back in this.
Yeah, right there is just a perfect display of what I was trying to talk about with the Rainmaker. You know, when they had all of those bombs thrown at them, especially with the bomb rush, they just had nowhere to go pretty much. See this Sorella trying to take that baller in to rush the Rainmaker, but they just get absolutely shredded by the Blob Lover. A little bit of a flank here from Inkcraft Cult, unfortunately does not amount to anything. The Rainmaker somehow making their way around that Stinger there, still alive, but unfortunately they get popped out and picked off by this that's Octo Shot on the side of Tyrant Inc., who are still in a very nice position. Another bomb snipe, a double out of them, which I believe makes that a delayed trickle, and that's just a really nice showing. And you know what? They get the quad. Very, very nice, and immediately Tyrant Inc. just going to set up for yet another.
Yeah, we see Inkcraft Cult's got the Inkjet. They could defend this. They've got the Inkjet coming out. They've got bombs coming out. They managed to stall at the same corner. But even if they can keep stalling it here, eventually they're going to have to push back. And so the Inkjet doesn't have quite enough shots, so instead of taking that out, they're in an awkward situation trying to fight. So their opponent does jump out. They've got the Rainmaker pop. They're going to have to reset, and they're really going to have to get mid back, which is going to be literally an uphill struggle because of how in place Tyrant Inc. mid, and also Tyrant Inc. has the Sea-Jet. They've got the range advantage here, which is going to make it difficult for the side of Inkcraft Cult, and looks like there isn't a flank coming anymore. And
Yeah.
it looks like Inkcraft Cult is poised to get back in the mid. They've got the specialists, they've got the, or at least for a little bit, they got the Mandarin, but and they got the specialists coming out, but
all of those specials active on both sides.
They finally get points, but 2 down. I don't know if that's a flank or the raid, but that's a full wipe inside of Inkcraft Cult with Tyrant getting ready for a massive push.
Yeah, might I remind you, this is best of 3, not play all 3, so if Tyrant wins this, they win the set. And right now they are in position to do just that. We are in the second half of our match now, but then again, Rainmaker, anything can happen still, and that's plenty of time for something to happen. Inkjet coming out, just, and already 2 down, again on the side of Inkcraft Cult, allowing Tyrant Ink to just come up through that rail all the way to 27, even though that ball does get a pick there from their, bomb rush, and that is 3 down on the side of Tyrant Ink as Inkcraft Cult finally gets lots of picks when they need to. That's just setting the bar even higher for Inkcraft Cult as they need to, get past 27 to win this match.
So the easiest way for them to do that is going to be to pick the right route that they've been trying to use before, but they're going to need to get a wipe while taking that route so that they can clear the area near the top of the hill, and that will get them enough points, but they're 2 down yet again, yeah. Jinx.
They keep popping all their
both of these.
They keep popping all their special to try and get back into mid. I mean, we saw the Inkjet armor combo come out there and try to keep their teammates alive, but instead they just keep going. It's like multiple members down. It feels like they almost never have enough people online, and Tyrant Ink, again, getting that Rainmaker all the way up to almost where it was before, but on the right side. And even though they did have to jump out, they're just stalling Inkcraft Cult out here because every second that Inkcraft Cult spends on defense, they cannot be pushing, they can't look towards being on offense. And again, they are 1 down, a pick on the junior from this T-Tech here to make it a 3v3 situation, but they're gonna get caught out in a 1v2 there. And right now, with 45 seconds left, it is looking like Tyrant Ink's game.
Yeah, it seems like Inkcraft Cult's incredibly aggressive comp with the double shot and all has worked against them in the end because they keep dying. So, whereas, look at the kill counts. We've got 8 kills coming out from the shot and the undercover AKA, and then 10 from the junior and 9 from the CJ, and only the highest one, and somewhat lower kill counts coming out from Inkcraft Cult. They just haven't been able to start a rival match, and they've seemed a bit scattered the entire time. They might have just been thrown off a bit by the fact they spent the whole match losing, and they need to win this match to continue the set. But
10 seconds left.
It looks like it's going to be over.
Yeah, 10 seconds left, being 2 down is not a place we want to be, and with that, Inkjet to seal the deal, a very nice pick on that rail, 3 down at the end, and that is going to be the game and the set for Tyrant Ink.
Yep. Inkcraft put up a good fight, but over both matches, they always had to use so many specials just to get some semblance of control or points on the board.
Yeah, look
so
at
by
that.
the time they needed,
shot.
Yeah, so by the time they actually need to solidify their position and push up and do real damage, they had nothing to work with, and were just outskilled in a lot of situations by Tyrant Ink, or Tyrant Ink had their specials.
Yeah.
And I think that's gonna be it for this round, and we're gonna be switching commentators again.
Yes, we are going to be switching commentators again. I am going to be signing off and replaced, I believe, Chaos Tyrant. So yes, look forward to that, and we should be back in just a few minutes.
Get back. Hello and welcome back to King of the Castle number 5. I'm Cork and I'm joined here by Chaos Tyrant. We are going to be seeing the team's quote team and Poker Pepsi playing today, and we're already starting off with Zone Skeleton. Any thoughts this one?
Well, you're gonna have, on this map specifically, it is very important that you make sure that glass is locked down. Not so much on zones, but it is very pesky if you have like a sniper or like a junior up on top of the glass just raining down ink. So you're gonna want to make sure that's locked down. You're also gonna want to watch for a lot of flanks, because that's really a strategy on this map, is to just come from the sides and just pincer. So these teams are gonna have to really focus on making sure those areas of interest are locked down.
Yes, and it's also going to be, especially on this map, not just short flanks from the sides, but it's fairly easy to just go all the way around and come from behind. I've had that done to me quite a lot. More so on tower control or Rainmaker, but even on zones, every approach to the zone is extremely wide open, which is going to make teams have a lot to guard against.
That's very true. And we'll be seeing what these teams have to offer in just a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see what we see for weapons. Like,
yeah,
most backlands are powerful here because of the glass and all that.
I suspect there will be at least one charger. That's
Firefin.
At least one. At least one.
Yeah.
If there's no charger, I'm
really good here.
Yeah, Firefin's stupid good.
Especially on wall, because you have the range and you have the wall to keep like a splatling from mowing you down if you're fighting on glass. And looks like we're about to be loading in and seeing just what these teams have to show today. And that's an E-leader, so it looks like you were right. We do have E-leaders on both sides actually.
There's double E-leader, let's go. And
one of them's running respawn punish here. It's quite confident.
Ooh, and a lot of them running Object Shredder as well. On both teams, both sides running Object Shredder.
Yeah, and only one team has armor, so there's not much objects to shred at this point. And we see the machine going in, trying to get some picks. It looks like they're trying to push left, and now we're going to see the charger just sort of jumping around on glass, looking to see if anyone's foolish enough to approach them. And the two members of which I don't know which team that is, it went down, and 2 members of the pink team went down, and we have the green team taking the lead and pushing back. Let me go.
Yes, if we can figure out which side to which, that would be awesome.
Yes,
that would be really clogged. But anyways, looks like they're unleashing a Booyah Bomb right now. And the pink team has just retaken the zone. And it looks like the Nautilus
team is going to the team with Tika, and that's first up going to be the green team. That's pink and the green. The green team, that's the team, and pink is going to be Coca Pepsi. Apologies for that, we got a bit confused.
Yeah, it's fine. So Coca-Cola and Pepsi are now in control. And it looks like the E-leader is going to be taking that back all by himself. Insane! And it looks like the Booyah Bomb is going to be thrown as well. Oh, nice pick by Warwick here. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce the name.
Nice double, actually. Yeah, I'm surprised they survived both, at least the roller attack. So we've got flings up from the side of the team, pushing up, trying to get the back splashdown jump from mid, but even that, all that's not going to be enough. We got the rain and the armor coming out from the side of Coca Pepsi, and the roller's going to go down, and Coca Pepsi's going to continue to extend their lead. The roller does go down to a leader, and it looks like the other's going to get comfortable, spam bombs until they can get more push.
Hey, just a thing, I think pink is Coke and Pepsi as we previously established, and green is...
I'm sorry, I got them backwards.
Oh, and it looks like Coca-Cola and Pepsi have just taken down the Nautilus here. Cancelled the splashdown. And they take another pick! Are they going to retake the zone here? It looks like they might have to focus zone a little bit, though. Because that E-leader is just up top on glass, as we previously have mentioned, that is a focal point of this map.
Yes, and we got the machine throwing fizzies like they're tomorrow, trying to just keep the other the green team force back. They are succeeding in doing so. Though we saw a curly bomb, we see a second bomb coming in, and we do see the booyah bomb coming out, capping the zone, and missiles coming out as well for the side of the pink team, and they don't even get the cap, and the side of the team is going to continue to hold their lead.
Yes. It looks like Coca-Cola and Pepsi are trying to desperately get it back, but that E-Leader is just painting over the zone! It's just an insane play here! I have never seen it.
And they're top fragging.
And they're top fragging.
It's definitely a really interesting choice using either as painting whip, but I mean it works, but not something I would have usually expected to see in a tournament. And we have the Zap trying to get some purchase on glass, but they're getting bombs with it. It's gonna be a bit difficult. We got the curling bomb, we got the armor coming out, they have Inkjet and Splashdown ready. Splashdown comes down the zone and to the team does get the cap using the curling bomb to dodge the bomb. But missiles are coming out, and we're gonna see Coke or Pepsi getting the zone right back, and they're in position with the man advantage in order to be able to potentially get the lead back here.
Yes. And I mean, like, just look for a second. Like, Coke and Pepsi are just not letting, Coca-Cola and Pepsi are just not letting up here. They want this lead. They need this lead. Oh yeah, I was gonna make a joke about how, you know, E-Leader is the new junior. Yeah. And it looks like, you know, the team is just pushing back here. Getting back.
Yes, and they do get the cap, catching it right before Coke or Pepsi can get it, and Coke or Pepsi's got the booyah, but they're one down. They can't move just yet. The wall, the Gal's wall getting ripped apart by the Nautilus and the Eve there. So a member of the team goes down. This is Coke or Pepsi's chance. They're gonna need to take it down. They're gonna need to keep the zone for the next 15 seconds and through overtime. They get the pick that they need. They've got the E-Leader furnace zone. They've got paint coming out the zone. They got the rain out. The E-Leader gets a rain pick actually, taking out the other leader. And they are in a position. They've only got the ticket down like about 20 more ticks, and they'll be fine. And the members of the team are still responding, but we got one Sharky to create place. The armor comes out. The roller rushes. They can't put much paint down on zone, and they're getting called out. So there's two members down to the side of. And the splashdown, last second, saves the game with two members of Coke or Pepsi going down and the splashdown from the team. Somehow clutching that 1 point before the game swings out of their favor.
What a play. That was insane. You see, I mentioned this before and I'll say it again. You really gotta watch your flanks here, because something like that could just easily happen. Like, at the end there, I feel like Coke and Pepsi, you know, just, were, they let themselves open too much, and they didn't completely lock down the area, right? I feel like that's what they could have needed in that match, is to lock down that area. Like, at the end there, had they locked down that area, they probably would have won that.
So kudos to that roller for sharking in the tiniest little bit of ink and managing.
Exactly.
That armor was crucial, because without that armor, they would have been mowed down. But the armor timing, the communication on the side of the team to collect that was crucial. And now we're going to be moving on to Clan Blitz on Mako Mart. Any thoughts?
Clan Blitz Mako Mart. So, Mako is generally just a pretty good stage for really anything. But Clan Blitz specifically, you're gonna have to. First of all, you're gonna want to watch your left stack. You're gonna need to watch that and make sure you don't get flanked, because someone could just easily come around and, you know, take people out as you're even spawning. Since spawn is just like that little drop area is easily flankable. Since there's a large area you can just go around and kill people with, and in that situation, you're gonna want to make sure everything is locked down. You know, watch your street, watch your sneaky, watch the basket, and watch that little box. Since that box is also another avenue of getting onto your drop area and getting basically mowed down.
Yes, I think the roller is going to be, again, very strong in this map because of all the tight spots. It's going to be really difficult to evade them. Especially if we see the plays coming out from the hero roller on the side of the team again, that's going to be, I think, crucial. Though I will be surprised if we see the leaders come out, just because Clan Blitz is a bit of a faster mode. And the leaders mostly excel in zones.
Yep. No, I definitely agree. But I'm excited to see what we're going to be seeing right now.
And we don't see a leader, but we see a Vanilla Squiffer with armor coming out. That's going to be a double armor comp on the side of the team, and they've also got the Slasher Deco, which is an interesting pick. You used to see that back in the, like, 2018, that was the meta. But now it's a bit less common, but it's pretty effective on the snap, able to control, use all those slopes to his advantage, and use the baller to push in. And we've got an X-Blosher actually coming out for the side of Coke or Pepsi, which is going to be another really good weapon for controlling a whole lot of space in the snap.
Yeah, no, definitely agreed. That was a nice pick by the Expo there. And it looks like the Splasher... Oh, and the Slosher goes down! That was just a good pick on the side of... Yeah, Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Or Pepsi, yes. So now they also have the ball, and it looks like they're going to be trying to make their push here. Just need to get a few picks, it seems. The Expo...
Yes, the baller is going to be called out.
Yes.
Yeah, and they do go one down. We got the armor coming out, though. Both sides are one down. That roller using the map to their advantage. He was flashing off to stay alive, but doesn't get any picks off it just yet. But the machine is, I'm not sure if the Expo machine is caught out. The machine is still alive. Popping their own splash to stay alive. They got the cleanse, lost the cleanse, and the roller takes up the Expo, and they've got two power cleanse coming in with 2 members down on the side of Coca-Cola, and the team is poised to make a really strong push here if they can just push up a little further. We've got Pika all the way left of basket. Trying to slash up, is taking down the machine, but the roller is going in for more. They're not going to have any clams, but they're going to try to get a few more kills before they can leave, looks like. So if they get too greedy, they're going to die. And look at the splashdown comes out. Somehow the Expo dodges it. The roller does appear to have gotten too greedy and is going to get forced into a real lethal 3v1.
Ooh, I was about to say, had that roller survived, he would have been an unkillable monster. But the roller goes down. Either way, we see Coca-Cola or Pepsi just trying to push back here, but the damage has been done from by team. Like they've just like completely annihilated them. It's 48 to 100 right now, and that's not good if you're Coca-Cola or Pepsi. You know, you're gonna want to come back for that. But with the ball on team side, it's applying a ton of pressure right now. But that Expo's attacking for the pressure as he's gonna get the kill, yeah!
Yeah, and the machine also helping out, getting out. The chip damage between the machine and the Expo has been unbreathable, especially with the torpedoes. The machine's getting another pick, but they don't have the clams to do this pick. They've got a clam back in their base, but they're gonna need to get these picks. But the baller sits as a shield and is gonna force the machine back. The machine somehow keeps moving. I don't know how the baller didn't just crush him, but the Slasher gets a double somehow. I don't know how they camped that jump, but they cut that push off right then and there, and there's only the junior left. It looks like the side of Coke and Pepsi just got too aggressive without actually having the clams to throw in. The machine got so many kills, but they took far too long to get the clam over to the right side of the map. So the Expo just got a pick, so they're gonna have another chance.
So, yep, exactly. Oh, and the Expo gets another pick! They are applying a ton of pressure at this point, and the clams are just there. It's a seafood feast right now. And they got the balls to get it. Just a singular... No! Wait, just a singular ball.
Yes, but they do lose a member after calling it the ball. They don't lose anything. The Expo getting yet another pick over the 9KA, performing really strong this game. They're going to chase down one of the members of Team the Baller. They do manage to weaken them, but there's another clam coming in. Looks like they're going to take... looks like they were going to try to take sneak flank. They're forced back by the Expo. There is one down on the side of the team, which could be an opening for the side of Coke or Pepsi, but they don't have much special. They don't get a splash down to work with. They're gonna have to get picks, but they go 2 down yet again, and the Caper is forced to back up because they couldn't get their booyah in time to help the push, and they're under levels. And this junior is gonna they waited really long and let that Slosher get away. The Slosher baited them away. I don't know why they waited, but their entire team got baited away and just let the other members of team get a clam in, and they're gonna go for more points, so they do manage to clean up the team before too much damage is done.
Yeah, I feel like in that last push they were too indecisive. I feel they went too slowly. But now they have 2 balls, so let's see if they can correct their mistakes. But I also like to mention that team here really just taking advantage of the overextensions and the indecisiveness here, and just absolutely trying to destroy Coca-Cola and Pepsi, you know?
The Splasher going up, going for a lot of picks. They don't get one, but looks like they get someone done. Doctor popping his baller. So the bubbles are coming out to block the baller. Looks like that's gonna sim, and the bubbles do go after the other shitter. And we're gonna see the Splasher go down. And the Junior's looking for another pick. They get an assist at least. But someone sneaks in with the power climb last second. That's gonna be the game for team and the set as well.
Yep. Pokey, Cola, and Pepsi had a funny name. But, you know, I'm sorry for your loss, guys. I honestly am really sorry, but, you know, you put up a good fight. That's all you can really do. If I were to give you any advice, just, like, try to be more decisive and also make sure that you're working together as a team, like, fully. You know? But good job to team, and they shall be moving on to their next match.
Hello and welcome back to King of the Castle 5. We are going to be seeing Nova versus Dynasty Dragon's Wave in the quarterfinals. I'm Cork and I am joined here by Chaos Tyrant.
Yo, yeah, we're back.
Any thoughts on our first map?
Well, Zones Wahoo, very infamous. Nobody, Wahoo is just a generally, I think, in my opinion, disliked map. For a couple of reasons. One, the carousel makes it easy for flanks. Basically, the idea of this map is that there's just a lot of holes. You can't cover all the holes, so there's always just the one little hole that the flanker can just wriggle through and just stop your entire push with. And that's why people don't really like this map, because it's not... It's very... what's the word? It's compact, yet open, if that makes sense.
Yes, so I'd have to disagree with you a little. I feel like this map is, at least in my opinion, it's a little more neutral, and I don't think it's hated. It's not like it's more a tower or anything, it's just moderately annoying sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah, it's not more a tower control level of
Yeah,
oh
no,
my god, I hate this map. Or Kelpdome Rainmaker.
I feel like everyone
yes.
can agree that like Moray Towers and Kelpdome are just like they're kinda interesting. Anyways, let's see what these teams bring out. Ooh! And a similar comp on the side, but anchorless on the side of Dynasty Dragon's Wave, yes. And it looks like they are going towards the zone as we speak. Splash painting up. Oh, and gets flanked by the shot.
Yes, and we've got the side of Dynasty Dragon's Wave taking an early position, commanding position. They're going to try to push up. The Zot's going for a nice pick. Gets the pick before the other Knot can return fire. And we do see the armor coming out to the side of Nova, but it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna do much. But they have a person down. They do get a pick on the opposing splash, and they've got the rain coming out as well. It looks like they're in a fairly good position to push, and they've got the bombers coming out as well. The Knot does have their inkjet. They're not going to use those. Another member with two of their main painting weapons going down. We're going to see the side of Nova take the zone right back, and the Ealer is going for the inkjet. The inkjet's gonna try to get some picks, but can't find anything. The wall's getting in the way. Another inkjet coming out. We got a bit of a dogfight, but one of the inkjet crashes before it can do anything. So the bomb rush comes right back out to the side of Dynasty Dragon's Wave, and they're gonna get control back to the zone with one down on both sides.
Yep, and it just looks like Dynasty Dragon's Wave here. It's just very dominant in just making sure that Nova just cannot push in. But as I see that, it looks like Nova's pushing in as we speak, and they take the zone. But it looks like Dynasty Dragon's Wave isn't going to go down without the fight, and they go down one down.
They go down with a fight,
yeah.
But they've got two specials online. Both sets actually have inkjet and armor, and we're gonna see. Hopefully, we'll see their inkjet dogfight. I like to see that again. Inkjet dogfight's always fun. And they do pop the inkjet. We've got a bit of a dogfight on our hands, so they're gonna be frantically dodging the leader instead of being able to get any rail picks. They have to pop that inkjet just to stay alive. And oh, the leader misses. That's the bomb rush is coming out to the side of Dynasty Dragon's Wave, trying to get the zone back before too much more damage is done. Though Nova did get the lead, and Dynasty Dragon's Wave now has a counter push, and there's two more specials on the line for Nova, which are gonna get popped in. Dynasty Dragons has already lost one guard, another inkjet coming out already, and this is gonna looking a bit ugly for Dynasty Dragon's Wave.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be trying to push back, but they are currently pushed back into their base. Nova here, just like with unrelenting force, just completely pushing them back. But as I say that, they are pushed back. This entire match is just a back and forth between two powerful titans right here. Oh, and
the leader.
One goes down.
Nice double coming up to the leader. Going. Looks like they're gonna try to get a triple. It's just out of range, but someone else takes on the last. It's a 3-down situation to the side of Dynasty Dragon's Wave. The last member running for their life, and it's looking like Nova's gonna be in a position to start getting even more points on the board.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Oh, and they just get through their penalty as the clock starts ticking down. Dynasty Dragons Wave is gonna have to get through their pretty sizable penalty, and then come back and hold the zone in a back and forth match. This is gonna be very tough.
Yes, and we've got multiple specials coming out the bomb rush. Complete stunning shot. Another pick coming out from the Inkcraft, another stuff. But somehow they cap despite the. Oh wait, no, I got 2 picks. They weren't queued up, but they do get 2 picks. They do manage to cap the zone, but they're already starting to shoot through their penalty. So it looks like Nova's going to be able to type of push fairly early. They're throwing bombs, like trying to pressure the knot. Knots almost gets called out. The leader is getting them in a pretty sticky situation as well. Though, if the starting to push up, the knot goes down, which is going to open things up. The side of Nova with the armor coming out, the leaders, but another one goes down. Someone goes down for Nova, and the leader's in trouble. They've got the bombs coming out, but they're still trying to get picks remarkably, despite all that fire coming down. And that's going to lead for Destiny Dragon's Wave. And they've got that armor coming out. We've got rain coming out. The zone's going to be really close, but it looks like and Nova clutches to the last second right before they get KO'd.
Now, if Nova can hold the zone here, this could be game for Dynasty Dragons, especially considering they have a massive penalty they'd have to go through to even attempt at getting lead back. So, just insanity right now. Oh, but Dynasty Dragon Waves comes back.
Yes, and they do have the lead already, so this has to hold for their 20 seconds. But Nova's coming out with multiple specials, got the edge at the armor coming out, deadly combo. Looking for picks, they can't find anything though. Or in one go down, they got another rain coming out, they got the bomb launcher ready. They've only got 30 seconds left, that's about 20 seconds I believe. Which means they could, and they do get a pick, they've got the bomb rush still, and Baroque is going to manage to strafe their way out of that one. They've got their bomb rush ready, they've got the armor, they're painting the zone like crazy, both sides look like this, all they have, and Baroque's going to win it, he's going to shut down the Inkjet, and now they're going to paint zone, and Destiny Dragon's Wave is 2 down, so they need to paint like crazy, that bomb rusher's going to get zoned, but they're all painting, and there's all 4 members of Nova are painting, but they still haven't capped. I don't know how and they don't manage to cap with 5 points left to go, and they lose the match just barely. I don't know how Destiny Dragon's Wave put out a paint to survive that. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was awesome. Like, that was an insane clutch from Dynasty Dragon's Wave there. Like, they knew they were in the lead. They knew all they had to do was keep the zone just completely locked down. Well, not locked down, but like just neutral. They just had to keep it neutral, and that's exactly what they did. And they forced they got the win because instead of trying to cap it and rush in and kill those people, they just painted the zone.
Yeah, so it's also interesting to note how low the kill counts were. We only saw like 5k, 4k, 2k, and 2k on the side of Destiny Dragons, and a few more than that on the side of Nova. So they definitely did good job surviving at least. And now we've got Rainmaker on Blackbelly Skatepark, also known as Siege at Heaven.
Otherwise known as, a lot of people also don't like this map mode combination.
Yep, and it looks like we're going to be loading right in actually. Teams making their choices very quickly. I wouldn't be surprised to see the like Siege yet, but I think these teams look pretty confident they're confident if they keep running the same thing. And oh, that's a Sploosh 7. The same comp coming outside of Dan Jackson's Wave, but second has switched on to the Sploosh 7. It's be really powerful if map, especially the little tight corridors for the hammer.
Oh yes, Sploosh is. Oh, 2! As we said it, 2 goes down on the side of Nova here.
3. And it looks like the Rainmaker's getting ready for push. Last member of Dynasty or Nova's going down. The Inkcraft's coming out for Dynasty Dragon's Wave. They're looking for some picks. They get one with the splash damage. Almost getting another. The Rainmaker's pushed way up. The missile's coming out. And I don't know how to dodge that, but they dodge that, and the hammer saves the game at 4. But Dynasty Dragon's Wave still has the advantage. They're gonna get the pop. And they're gonna get them. No, the splash cancels it right before they can get the lead.
Saving themselves. Bro, this map is just going too fast. They're gonna try to push it back.
Interesting choice to pick the Rainmaker there, though. And it's gonna be. It looks like they also just use it as a weapon instead of letting it reset. And we have missiles coming out for the side of Destiny Dragons, forcing the Rainmaker back into a bit of a bad spot. So they're struggling to get out of get parts of the board. We got the Bombers coming out with the boat, looking for some picks, trying to get a little bit more space. but they're gonna get hit from behind, and the shot's armored. The Warp doesn't manage to, okay, does manage to pick them, but is mowed down by the knot.
Yep, and it looks like they're just currently trying to fight back here. Keep that lead, Dynasty Dragons, they are. Wait, this is... Yep, Dynasty Dragons win. Yep, and it looks like Nova here is going to be trying to pick up the Rainmaker.
They do see they got the hammer coming out. They do have a chance, but they need to get the paint on the ground to get up. And they're struggling, but they gotta pick. They could, but they go 2 down. They'll pick someone from Dynasty Dragons Waste. But they're going, but no, not quite. Getting down all the way on 16. That's not gonna be quite enough compared to the 4. Heaven's getting a nice pick, helping finish off that knot. And they're already re-establishing significant map control, and Nova's not gonna get another chance for quite a bit until they get more picks. They're gonna need mid back as well, so it's gonna buy Dynasty Dragons Wave plenty of time.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I'm sorry, the action is just too insane here. I am a loss for words. There's just so many things going on. And as we said, the Inkjet goes down, another person goes down on Dynasty Dragon's Wave's side. And the Rainmaker still is alive somehow. Just stalling it out, it seems. With 2 minutes on the counter, and Nova's showing that they can and will push up against Dynasty Dragon's Wave. I don't know what might happen here. And it looks like the Dynasty Dragon's Wave is going to be trying to go for the KO too, but just Nova retaliated with a flurry of bombs.
The Rainmakers give a difficult movement. They're doing a really good job of avoiding all the bombs, not dying yet. Keeping pressure on, waiting for their team to come help them. The Warlock's gonna go for it, and does manage to survive. I think with the help of armor, they're able to stop the Rainmaker shot and dodge and get a really nice pick, stopping that push. It's not gonna help them too much, because they still need to get all the way down to 3 at least. They've got their specials ready, they've got the hammer to push in off of. Looks like they're going to opt to reset instead of trying to risk a pop-down house pipe that could be very easily turned into a death trap for them. And yeah, they're holding back a little bit, getting the pop, and they've got the specials, they gotta go, and they gotta go soon.
I definitely agree. If they really want to fight against Dynasty Dragon's Wave here, they're going to have to be just as aggressive and fight back even harder. Kick and scream even harder. And as I said that, oh, but that's a triple on the side of Dynasty. Wait, no.
That's double. But yeah, that was still a really nice double from the Inkjet, yeah.
It looks like Nova here is going to be trying to push up for that 3 lead. And as I said that, 1 goes down, and there is a bomb rush out at this point, and it will go down.
Yeah, it looks like the armor came out for Dynasty Dragon's Wave, and I was hitting that push. Baroque's running, trying to get out. I think they're trying to get a bomb rush ready or something, just to have 1 more shot to get ready to take the Rainmaker as soon as it resets. But there's no guarantee it's even gonna reset, because Dynasty Dragon's Wave can just wait until right before it. Oh, so they do that reset. They could have just waited until it was about to die and then grabbed it and cheesed it out, but I suppose that's not always the nicest thing to do. But they are Dynasty Dragons is 2 down, and we do see Nova pushing up. They do grab the Rainmaker. They've got an opening. If the Inkjet can pull off another nice double, the Inkjet's getting 1, going for another, but the hammer's there, but the Rainmaker's too far behind, and the armor's coming out, and that's gonna be it.
Oh, that's
the Rainmaker couldn't keep up with the rest of the team, unfortunately.
And there were so many opportunities for them to take that, but unfortunately, they were unable to go behind and to do that. Very unfortunate.
It was still a really good showing on part of both teams, getting down to such low scores and putting in so much work to try to.
Yeah, no,
a lot of crazy, especially Nova's splash. Their movement was amazing. Some of the picks they managed to get using the splash's fast strafing speed and mobility to support them.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Now we're on Starfish Tower, which is going to be a fun map if anyone plays Splatling, because according to my teammate who's a heavy Splatling player, this is a really good map for heavy Splatling. So I think it's also fairly good for not, so bring out the machine guns, everyone.
Yeah. As a machine gun main myself, I'm excited to see what types of weapons they're going to be pulling out here. I'd also like to mention that this is in fact game match point. If Dynasty Dragon Waves wins this next match, that's it. Nova's out. Nova's gone.
It is going to be a deciding match. Nova is going to win this. They're going to go home, but it's really anyone's game. Look at last few matches. Dynasty Dragons Wave did come out on top, but both teams have a very equal standing. I think it's going to be interesting, especially if the Splash can do a lot of the crazy stuff they were doing last match for the side of Nova, and if we see a similar performance from that Nautilus coming out for Dynasty for Nova rather instead, it's going to be interesting. And we see two. Yep, looks like two. Oh, that's a Charger coming out for the side of Nova using the Fire Fin, which is going to let them clear a lot of space with those bombs and can sort of. It can't quite do the thing a Stingray can with stopping pushes, but if you throw a whole bomb rush at tower, no one's going to be on tower anymore.
Yeah, no, exactly. And it looks like both sides are one down currently. Oh, and as this, it's a power struggle in mid right now. Both teams trying to look for some picks here, trying to get those picks, but it's just not happening. Shreds arm, Dynasty Dragon Wave, Nautilus shreds the armor. But, and he pops his jet, looking for those kills, and this is going to be getting him.
Yeah, this is a really awkward position because of the roof and all that. It's going to make the jet really awkward. It looks like someone did get a pick, and we got the Booyah Bomb ready for the side of Dynasty Dragon's Wave instead. They're going to be able to start pushing. They got the armor, they got the Booyah coming out. It doesn't look like they know where to throw the Booyah because the one person they could have jumped out. So it looks like they're just going to have to lob it into thin air and hope it hits something. So it does seem to have delayed Nova a little bit, and then we got the Bomb Rush coming out from Nova. They are actually running a double Bomb Rush comp, which is rather interesting on power, especially because they have no longer range specials like Missile, Ancient, or Booyah right now, which may put them at a disadvantage. Another Booyah Bomb's coming out, I believe from Dynasty Dragons Wave, or not, because it looks like they were killed, but the Gal's painting car really showing that, and it does look like Nova is going to stop the push, but that Nautilus is still failing there. They gotta jump. They get another pick. They're picked off by the burst bomb, but they still might do a lot of damage, and Nova's not gonna be able to push back just yet.
Yeah, no. Oh, and forcing off a snipe there. Did he make it out alive?
Did that was a perfectly timed jump out, keeping right before that burst bomb cascaded down onto him. And that Nautilus looking for some interesting picks, taking an interesting angle. The Bomb Rush coming out, trying to keep Nova back, and that's the Gal is pushing. That's the Splash rather is pushing up, popping, and there's guys coming up from the lot. It's gonna be difficult for Nova to get back. They got one down. The Booyah is ready as well. It's looking definitely possible. There's gonna be a KO. The Gal is dodging. There's a flank coming in from behind the tower, which is gonna shut things down for now, getting a double. But the Gal misses the last shot. Gal RNG did its thing, and Nova is gonna manage to clean up, but Dynasty Dragons got all the way down to 13, which is going to make this rather difficult for Nova to push back.
Yep, Nova has to go through 2 checkpoints, and not only that, get more than a quarter of the way through the final checkpoint in the heart of Dynasty Dragons' base. They haven't even gotten Dynasty Dragons have pushed to 13, where Nova is still at 100.
It does look like they got a pick, they're on tower, but it looks like someone hit them right out of the blue, the Splash getting a nice double. The ink gets out again, the Splash went down, the ink gets going to scatter the team, and they don't have purchase at all now that they've lost 2 players, and Nova's going to be able to start pushing back to the mid, and they've got their armor ready as well. So this is going to start, not Nova, Dynasty Dragons Wave is going to be able to start pushing back into mid, and potentially set up another push.
Yep. And it looks like Dynasty Dragon's Wave is gonna come back again for more. And it looks like, it's gonna be pursued. And he gets the kill through the splash wall. Looks like Nova's gonna be trying to push back here.
Yeah, looks like Nova's looking for some picks, and the teams are fairly stalemate at the moment, which is honestly good for Dynasty Dragons Wave, so they can just keep stalling. Well, Nova has to go, and they're forced to play heavy offense. We can see them 2 going down for the side of Dynasty Dragons Wave, 1 going down for Nova, which means there is a potential push in here, but all of Nova's not really in the right place to push. They're all stuck on the left side. Excuse me. And they are painting up a little, but they can't seem to find where their opponents are or risk getting on tower given their situation. And it looks like Not thinks there's a flank, but it doesn't seem like anyone's actually there.
Yeah, no. Definitely. And Nova finally getting some points on the board. As I say, that goes down, and the people on snipe. Oh, and it looks like they're going to be flanking. Oh, and he gets the pick. Nice. Oh, and a double.
Yeah, nice double. Burst bomb going slap and taking them right up. And we see the paint. Another bomb rush coming out. And Nova's got, this is their last shot. They're taking it. The splash is going all over the place. Gotta pick up the bomb rush. They see a stay on tower, but it looks like someone's, whoa, they must be running some DPU 0 pro bumps all the way to the tower. All of Nova's set up on this block here. The Inkcraft coming out looking for some picks, but that wall's gonna get in their way, make it a lot harder. The other team, the armor as well, gonna make the nullify the Inkcraft. But it's down to 40, it's down to 6. But that's 2 down for Nova, but there's still a tower, and then the Booyah Bomb comes out. And that's gonna be the game and the set for Destiny Dragon's Win.
Yeah, unfortunate for on the side of Nova. They fought hard, but Dusty Dragon's Wave was just slightly better. Or it was just
The
there.
Dragons have deposed the Tyrants, I suppose you could say, if we went to make it.
I mean, the Dragons have just conquered the universe. They conquered a new star.
Well, good. And I believe that is going to be the rest of it, of the stream is going to be taken over by the rest of other commentators, and we are going to be signing off. It was a pleasure commentating with everyone.
It was very much a pleasure.
Hello and welcome back to King of the Castle 5. We are going to be going into semifinals, which we have R versus
No title.
no title. And I'm Cork, and I am joined here by Sky.
Hello. Gorg, you've pretty much been commentating the entire time.
Yes, I am bullish like that, I suppose.
Over on R, we have Ips, S, Pasta Box, and Nick. And over for No Title, we have Storm, Steffi, Trond, and Anger. Do you recognize any of these folks? Because I know I recognize Ips and Nick.
I only recognize Ips, and I believe they're like Kuit's Mafia's junior at one point. I don't know if that's all I can tell you.
Yeah, I recognize Steffi from No Title, but that's just pretty much about it.
Any thoughts on the map? We're going to be seeing anchovy zones actually, which should be pretty interesting because of the annoyance of flanks on this map.
Yeah, I really like anchovy zones, but I feel like the amount of flanks that can occur, whether it's coming in from that right side from the opponent's arcade and not really realizing it until after you get taken down, or just people coming in from the left side. It's just a very flanky map, and for those who are slayers and want to both slay and flank, it works out very well for them in the end.
Or if you want to be really funny, you can take the fans on your right side and go all the way around your opponents, like Rainmaker. Which is, I haven't tried it, but it's good. Though, as with any flanks on this map, the problem is that if you go alone, they're fairly easy to spot, so you might just get mowed down.
But I suppose it depends on what their comp will be as we go into our first match here.
Yes, and we have a leader coming out for the side of R, which is going to gives them a lot of range, could help a lot, but that 10's going to make it a lot harder, and we got a 10 and a junior and the mini, so it's going to be between the bubbles and the pet shields. It looks like No Title is going to be trying to play very defensively in a lot of situations. We got the Zap trying to dodge his way around, and I don't know how they stayed alive. They managed to stay alive for the 3 down to go on the side of R with the bubbles doing a whole lot of damage.
Yeah, that Zap there was cornered up until their junior over there came in and helped them out with the bubbles. And now all No Title is doing at the moment is they're pushing up here, trying to lock R out, making sure that they can't get to the zone no matter how hard they try. Steffi here is going to pop missiles as they continuously help their team painting that zone with their mini. But it looks like R is going to actually cap the zone.
Yeah, they do get to that, so they're not going there, except for the mini, who's, what looks like they're a bit cornered. I think they're going to jump out, and they do manage to successfully jump out, but we've seen Nick getting ready to push up with the, vanilla Duelia Stalkers, getting their missiles ready, and it looks like the juniors getting their armor on. The Zaps is probably going to be pretty soon, so the side of R's got plenty of tools to work with to keep pushing here, and they're almost to the lead. The armor's coming out for both sides. Looks like the missiles just came out, the rain's coming out, and that's going to be the lead for R. And the bubbles are gonna get a bit shut down. They're not gonna get used to their full effect. So, No Title does get the cap and is going to be able to start pushing up again.
We have S here backing off with their E-leader, realizing that they can't really do much here, as we see No Title is starting to pressure all of R here. Just all of that blue on that map is, it's in No Title's favor here. Unless
like,
ooh.
Yeah, looks like their title is going to get the lead, but R is going to manage to kind of push. But no, they don't manage to kind of push. They actually go 3 down. That was really crazy. We said the tension coming at the E-leader's forced into a nasty corner. It looks like one of the mines went off. The other mine goes off, and they've only got a few seconds left to get something back, but No Title is just locking them out. They've got the bubbles ready. They've got some missiles coming out. It looks like this is going to be game unless that Inkstorm gets something.
And it looks like, unfortunately, that Inkstorm's not going to do too much for them, as they also weren't able to push in with it. So game 1 here is going to go to No Title with a very beautiful KO here.
That was a really nice match on both sides, but it looks like no title in the end, man, to use that very nice skilly comp to keep R out and manage to take the win in the end. And I believe next we're going to be going on to Rainmaker on Snapper Canal.
Rainmaker Snapper Canal, pushing through street is definitely interesting. It's one of the ways that you can try and push the Rainmaker, but there's also that very far left side of the map that you can try and go up that wall, or you can go up the block. Which both are kind of hard, especially when your opponents know which one you're going to go for.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a very similar comp come out to the side no title, because the tent shield and the bubbles from the caging are going to help a lot, especially if they try to push through street, because they'll provide very large shields that will counter the amount of different ways you can fire on the street if you're trying to defend.
Yeah, I feel like no title's probably not going to change the comp very much, because not only that, but also this is a very nice map for tent too, so it would make sense to keep the tent.
Yeah, mine's always nice defensive map because it's just narrow enough if a mine goes off, your Rainmaker's stuck. But I would not be surprised to see S switch off from leader onto perhaps Splatter Scope or V Charger, because Ray is always a fun time in Rainmaker because you're trying to push and then, oh, there's a Stingray.
And especially towards the end of the match where we have GG rays end up occurring.
Yes, and we're going to be voting in, and we do see a change to it. Not a Charger, but a Seajet instead, and the only alteration to the side of no titles comp is going to be no armorless, actually, switching over to a T-Tech, which is going to give them a lot more aggression with that Inkjet and those bobs.
Here we have Storm instantly taking out Ig for their splash, so that's a really good pick for the side of no title here. But Steffi instantly making a push. Looks like they're gonna try and push either the block, or they're just at least trying at the very least to paint it. And they are getting cornered here, and they're gonna lose the Rainmaker here.
However, the tent manages to clean up and is going to give them an opportunity to keep pushing. That earlier pick you mentioned of Nick kept the splash doing a lot of damage with that mist to slow them way down. We do see that mist coming out, trying to keep them to be able to swim up, and that's the Ray is going to come out and shut them that push. The one member does remain alive for the side of no title, so at least they won't be fully wiped. Now, S is already painting for yet another Ray because, well, it's the Seajet's kind of job. Firing on, they've got armor as well. Looks like they're going to try to engage the tent. They're going to have to back off because they're not going to be able to do much at all with the tent shield. Tent's running around mid, the tent does go down, and it looks like R is going to have a chance to set the first push, and Storm almost falls into the water. Good thing that didn't happen. Would have been very awkward if they were on stream and fell in the water.
The amount of times that I've seen people fall in the water on stream on this map alone. If only I had $1 for every time it happened. Because it's happened quite a few times. But Anchor here is going to pop that canopy, try and push it forward, get some more paint, making that paint around the Rainmaker a little bit more purple.
Somehow, the Inkjet puts enough paint on the ground for someone to choose the Rainmaker to a very small lead, and the Ray's coming out as well. They're going to be able to extend this push, actually. That little cheese managed to stall for enough time for the Rainmaker to get all the way up to 29, and the Squid Begging getting all the way to 20, and that Ray that had come out a few seconds earlier had managed to get that fix, and the missiles are coming out as well, scattering no title and forcing them to go all the way around. So if they can move fast enough, they could have potentially had a very open push, but R is already rotated all the way back, getting ready to defend.
And Ips here coming up and taking out Steffi very easily with that junior.
Yes, and you see the Ray coming out again, getting ready to push, and
it looks like no title is going to stop R's push here, but it really doesn't matter here as R is just keeping the Rainmaker closer to the pedestal to try and make it harder on no title here to make any pushes, which is...
And they get to 19.
Ooh.
Nice, just snatching it, denying anything further. Ranger team's trying to get a couple more specials, but they're gonna go down. So unless we have one really another fast ray, it's gonna be finally a chance for no title to get off the back foot.
Which is a chance that they definitely need. However, if the Stingray does its intended purpose, it might delay them a little bit further. And unfortunately, that ends up leaving with Steffi being the only one left on the field until they end up having a delayed wipe from the side of no title. And this is going to put them in a very bad position as they're not going to have any map control here.
They've got the missile Inkjet coming out, but it's gonna take all their half their specials just to get back in, and the Inkjet is not in a great place. The bubbles come out, taking out the C-Jet, which is gonna give them a bit of opportunity without the C-Jet testing them, but they're 2 down yet again, and the Junior could always use so much, and the Inkjet's coming out. Absolutely, Junior going down, that's a step. Not them be a wipe, it's gonna be leave no title very staggered, and I think they're just gonna try to keep the Rainmaker in the middle mostly painted and just turn this into team deathmatch at this point.
Honestly, that's all R needs to do here, because they have it pushed up. They've pushed the Rainmaker to a score of 19, and no title here only has a remaining of 51. And not only that, but no title just doesn't have any paint on the map, which is hurting them severely right now. As that is especially what they need in this situation, as they're getting a little bit outpainted here, which is hurting them. But it looks like that they're getting that paint back.
Yeah, looks like they did manage to get paint back. They got one more shot to push. Mushroomers are down, and the Ray. But the Ray's not coming out. What's going on? I don't know. Texas. They missed it. They're 1 point off, nearly winning the match last second, but they're stopped 1 point before because it looks like a little enemy ink got the Rainmaker tripped up. That was close.
Huh. That was very close. I wouldn't have tried and allowed them to get any closer than they had. I'm very curious why the Stingray didn't pop any sooner.
These are where it did work out for them in the end, so I'm impressed they managed to clutch it so last second. And next we're going to be going on to Clan Blitz on the Reef, which is a very nice Clan Blitz match, if I do say so myself.
Not only that, but it's also a very nice tent map, so... if no title decides to keep up with having that tent comp, or tent in their comp, these first 3 maps honestly benefited quite a lot.
I think I wouldn't be surprised to see the same comp. I think they may switch back to the armor, which will help even more the Clan Blitz if they got the tent and the hammer too, and the bubbles, and then the armor. That's going to allow them to be incredibly aggressive while pushing on this map. As for the side of R, I don't anticipate too many changes. I would be interested to see what kind of backline weapons they bring out. This map, I think, works a lot well. I think it's, according to one of my teammates, it's a fairly decent heavy Splatoon map. And though I think their comp will also remain fairly similar since they've appear to have gotten fairly comfortable with what they're using at the moment.
I wouldn't honestly blame them if they did just stick with what they have been playing for the last match, honestly. Because personally, I probably would do the same unless there was something immensely wrong with the comp or anything. But I feel like there wasn't necessarily anything wrong with their comp. It was just a matter of that they kept going down, and because they kept going down, there wasn't enough people up all the time to keep that paint up. Which was what punished them severely in the end of last match.
Yep. Here we go. This is going to be not a deciding match like I think every other set I've commentated. This is the first time we're not seeing just a 3-0 or 2-0, which is refreshing. And, well, I guess it's seafood today instead of pasta box. And that's a Hydra.
Hail Hydra.
Oh, they switched off the mini actually, opting for a bit more aggression with armor and Inkjet, but they have no long range specials, or neither team does, but the Hydra, wow, double armor and a lot of area control.
definitely. From the side of R here, we have Junior Hydra, the Splash, and the K-Shot. And on the side of No Title, we have the Zap, T-Tech, K Junior, and Tent. So sticking with that Tent pick, unfortunately Tent going down first thing here.
Yeah, I think the
Hydra
Hydra
fight
is...
for that bridge.
I think the Hydra is partially just picked to counter that Tent. Because the Hydra is going to be one of the weapons that can just slowly chew through their shields. Instead of having to throw like 5 bombs to break it.
Yeah, Hydra is one of those weapons where it may be slow, but it is a very tanky kind of. It takes out things like Tent's canopy very well. Ooh.
There's a really scrappy fight mid, and Pop Box just gets blown up by the most unfortunate bomb, but one of their teammates is there to grab the car, and another trade coming out. It's very just a scrappy fight mid. This team's really got the advantage. The other 3 down, I don't know where they see that clan, but it's going somewhere. I suppose one of the members is going to pick it up. And No Title has an opening at this point. They could start moving forward, but looks like they're gonna opt away, get their specials ready, and then really go and do the damage.
I feel like that would probably be the most optimal way of pushing in here, because if you push in without any specials, then you're kind of just going in empty-handed, even if you have clams.
And they do go through down despite the specials. It looks like R doing a very good job dodging around the incoming fire and the bubbles, and the Inkcraft coming out contesting that 10 shield. 10 shield gets ripped to pieces by the Inkcraft and the Hydra. But the Inkcraft doesn't get anything, the missiles don't get anything, and that's 2 down. Another push is spoiled, and we're going to continue to see a stalemate as we're approaching halfway through this match.
Matches like these, where there's just a constant back and forth and nobody's able to make any scores on anybody, especially when you're already 2 minutes into a match, it's very interesting to watch, because you get to see what each team is doing, or like what they intended to do with the weapons that they picked, but also it's a stalemate, and so it's kind of it's interesting in its own form of who's gonna win this.
Yeah, I can feel the tension in both teams. Whenever a match like this, it's just really tense. The one going down both sides, the Hydra's getting positioned again, but the 10... Oh, the 10 does good out. Looks like they got a bit ahead of their ship. But another member goes down on the side of R. And yeah, it's just similar again, though. It looks like R is going to take a slight personal advantage. They're able to explore that a little bit to push up. They've got bombs coming in. It looks like they have an opportunity if they can keep a little more pressure up, but they're going to need at least one special. The armor's coming out for the side of R. Another member of No Title went down. R has the initiative here, but they lose 2, but they get points on the board. Finally, the Inkcraft's coming out as well. No, I doubt they're going to be able to get any more if that Inkcraft even stays alive. But a stemlet like this, that might be enough if the match continues like this.
Yeah, all of R there just respawning with one another because of that very much so delayed wipe after they got 1 power clem in. I feel like not only does that just give No Title here a free pity, but the Hydra doing, as we talked about, what we thought the Hydra was originally brought out for, to counter that 10, seemingly has been doing a really good job of that, having taken the 10 out earlier and then also canceling its hammer there.
Yeah, so the Hydra, we saw them up the bridge there, jumping around like it's bouncing house, and we've got the Inkcraft coming out, looking for the pick on the power cone. The power cone carrier is going to dodge, but not for long enough. That's 1 down on both sides. Inkcraft isn't able to get any more, and the 10's trying for something, but they're going to get trapped and missed and forced to jump off. They've got their hammer heading to play defense, but right now, they're not in a great place to use it. And R is moving forward and just trying to keep them on their back foot to get them through the push. 10's moving up, making a bit of an opening for their team. They've got 2 specialists online, but the missiles are going to come out for R. And it's really, and R gets a power climb in with a cheeky play. Well, their title is overextended. They go see that another power climb jumped in, just IPS, just barely getting it in. Though it looks like, oh hey, there's still someone from R at No Title's base. Oh wait, no, that's not No Title. Is that No Title? I can't. Oh, that's not No Title's base. That's R's base. Looks like someone from No Title got to their base at that time. But they're gonna mess up the clam throw, and R's gonna have the person advantage. They got the mist coming out. They've got, I think, mine set up. They got the Inkling coming out. No Title is not gonna be able to recover from this.
No Title had a really good opening there where they could have gotten 2 power clams in. which I don't think would have gotten them the lead, actually. I feel like they would have had to have a few clamps, and as I say that, they're able to start overtime push here and trying to get another power climb in. However, unfortunately, their other power climb is cornered, and that's going to be the end of the overtime, giving Game 3 over to R here.
And a very, honestly, dominant performance by the end by the side of R, because it was a stalemate for a long time, but then they found their momentum, they found their opening, and just crushed everyone with 18 KF from the splash, 15 11. That's a lot more kills than we thought come out of No Title ends. Any other thoughts on the match?
Honestly, both teams here played really well on that match. It was just a constant back and forth. You could definitely tell that these teams are both pretty evenly matched in skill level to one another, and that they were kind of just fighting over the map too, which was a big thing that I noticed.
Yes, it was fair. I'll be interested to see how even the next match is. Now we're going to be going on Tower Control and Mantabria. Also, it's going to be very cramped whenever trying to push the tower. I hope you brought your Booyah bombs and your Tenta missiles to this party.
I would say tent would be nice, but also it's so cramped that I feel like the only real use that tent might have is in that street when they're trying to push the tower. But
I mean, cramped is going to play a tent's advantage. It would in most of their modes, but there's the tower in the way of the tent shield in this case, which I believe it behaves like wall. If the tower bumps into the tent shield, it gets crushed. So I think it is a valid pick, so you don't see tent too much on tower. Well, expecting many changes, I'll be interested to see what backline. I'd assume the Sea Jet, because my team's backline at least sees this map as just like Sea Jet, and that. The amount of Manta is a very narrow map, and if you can keep pumping out Stingrays, it's going to be a pain for your opponent to try to push.
yeah, Stingray on tower control as a whole is it's very useful, because if you can time it well enough at certain points, you can stop them from making whole pushes. Granted that the team that you're going against doesn't have armor, but...
We're going to be counting down to the last few seconds, and to see this is going to be the deciding match for the side of R. If they can take this one, they're going to clinch the set and they'll pass the grand finals. And for the side of their title, they're going to have to take the next two games if they don't want to go home, if they want to duke it out in our grand finals full of counter picks. And, oh, that's a firefight. Interesting. Not the pick I would have expected, but Bomb Rush is going to help with a lot of area control for this match. And we see a very aggressive no backline comp that same weapons as the last match for the side of No Title, which is going to give them a lot of aggression, but they might struggle against that charger.
From the side of
that
R,
armor got popped.
that was a very, very quick armor from the very beginning, especially that, and it's very helpful for that Inkjet. However, I feel like that Inkjet's going to... Ooh! And right off the bat here, it's just kind of just going to be people going back and forth getting taken out. I feel like we're going to have a similar matchup to what played out on the last map mode.
So we do see R managing to compute to kind of power tap and dance forward a little, even with members down. And they managed to buy the time for the rest of them to get in. They got the missiles coming back out. They are in a position that if they play their cards right, they can get a few more picks. The hammer's coming out though, and that's going to go squish, and that's two members down to the side of No Title. Another force to run, but then it's not a flanking Inkjet? That's a flanking Inkjet, I think. With going for a pick the tent with a 10 shotgun, blows them out of the sky, and the both teams are one down. The bomb rush is coming out, so we're not going to see No Title able to take any sort of advantage just yet, but now, as I say that, they are going to get set up, and with R still kind of responding and the bubbles coming out, the hammer ready, they are going to take the lead and they're going to be able to accept the position.
No Title here is actually able to push past that first checkpoint, but just barely. And they're just kind of going back and forth here, as they have to focus on the folks that are coming after them through the street and the bunker here, and also trying to keep themselves alive, trying to value their own lives.
Let's look till the tank goes down. I don't know if anyone else knows, but the flash on the side of R is actually running 2 mains of Special Charge Up and Drop Wire, so it looks like they're going to be really focused on Inkjet, especially with the, I believe, 170 point Inkjet cost for Flash. So they're going to be pumping out Inkjet after Inkjet. Tossbox going for a kill, but go down by the Zap instead. And we see R continuing to be able to push, actually, but they're immediately forced back. And looks like another member went down with the Charger and the Shot being the only ones alive, and they're going to be forced. But it's Shot going down, actually. The Charger is going to get really badly pinned through, the bubbles coming out as well. They're going to be forced to jump out, or they just died. And the armor coming out as well, so this is going to be a nice continuation push for the side of No Title.
This is going to be a very advantageous push for No Title here, as it's going to allow them to continue pushing forward, as they've been able to, but unfortunately here, it looks like No Title actually goes 3 down, with only their 10 being alive, being able to defend themselves, and now playing against a Charger and one other person that's on their tail.
I'm impressed they got out of that with a pick to spare. Both teams are going to try to put the Chargers and No Title, got the bubbles coming out, and that's it itself. The Bomb Rush comes out, and the Inkjet comes out, and not Bomb Rush, a bomb comes out, the Inkjet comes out, and that's going to be another opening for the side of R, but now they got a lot of work to do. They've got their missiles, there's still 2 specials ready, and it looks like Storm's gonna go for pick, gets it. That's 2 down again. It seems to be that R just wasn't quite set up to go for that push.
Yeah, R had a really good start there, taking out the 10th, and the T-Tech of No Title, but they weren't able to capitalize off of it quick enough, and in turn, No Title was able to swiftly come back and punish them for it, as we see that their T-Tech is actually going to take one person out on the opponent's side, being their Charger, meaning they're going to be losing range there. And all they have to do here is continuously use their bubbles to their advantage here. K Jr. taking out one person, and then their Charger going out, and as they're passing through the final checkpoint, it looks like that they're going to KO here.
Yeah, the Junior's move in the end was quite something, managing to evade all those bombs and enemy fire with those bubbles, which is probably a large part of what contributed to that eventual knockout. And now we have a 2-2 set getting ready to go into a deciding game fight. And 17 coming out from that T-Tech, absolutely tearing the other team apart.
Yeah, No Title did a really good job there, actually, with such an amazing comeback there. They're gonna have to keep this up going into the final map of the set, being Zones on Piranha Pit, because this is going to be deciding whether or not who is going to be playing in a 3rd place match against Dynasty Dragon Waves, and who will be going to Grand Finals to face off against Deep Dream.
Quite the name of their opponents. I'm sure they'll be quite excited for whoever they're fighting. Though the same weapons we saw the 10th and the Junior, and that combination I believe will work quite well in this map, because it's not as good of a 10th map per se, because the 10th can get dropped on, but it's got a nice wide opening, good in the middle for the hammer and for the bubbles. So I believe they're going to be in a position of strength using the weapons that they are.
I don't disagree there. I feel like a 10 would be a very nice option to continue playing here, even if it is at that disadvantage that you have previously mentioned.
So actually, yeah, it looks like one player left the lobby, fortunately, so we're going to be waiting for a little bit. I assume they're subbing or something.
And it looks like they are having technical difficulties, so it might be a little bit before they can get back in the lobby here. But personally for you, how do you usually look at Zones on Piranha Pit?
I grab a Triduvo and just hope I can. I'd be interested if any of these teams bring up buckets, but it looks like given their weapon pools, we're gonna just keep seeing a lot of fairly straightforward, just walk forward and pull out the shooter comps. I wouldn't be surprised to see a fire fin as well, because it's I think a bit of a tricky Charger map, so I'm not sure, because there's a lot of wide sight lines in the middle. But that bomb rush on that wall is gonna help a lot.
I know E-Leader would be a very nice charger to pull out here, but that's also due in part of its range as well. But at the same time, you gotta be positioned pretty well in this map to play charger. Because from experience of having past backliners on my team, I noticed how some of them have like positioned themselves on pit, especially zones. Honestly, the last team I was on, our backliner just played bamboo so that they could push forward.
Yeah, bamboo's definitely a good pick. I don't know if this particular backline player plays them, but who knows? And it looks like we do have the players back, which is pretty cool. Hopefully get rid of fairly quickly so we can get this match right on the road to see a deciding Game 5. And who's going to be going to Grand Finals? Yes, counter pick help. Where Sky and I will attempt to gauss counter picks, and y'all can laugh at us messing up or not.
Will the commentators guess the counter pick's correct? Maybe we will, maybe we won't. Find out in the next round. But it looks like here that the teams are readying up fairly quickly. And I'm very curious to see if our estimations or guesses on what they'll probably be running will come to fruition here.
My only other guess would be that Nick might switch off their splash, because I think that comp might have been a little low on bombs depending on what charger they run. So in a situation like Splat Zones, you want to be able to lob as many bombs as you can. But in front is a bit of an awkward inkjet map if you don't get the right launch points, because the conveyors in the middle can make it very difficult to have the right firing angles.
Yeah.
As an inkjet, man, it's a struggle sometimes when I launch at a if I launch from on zone, that's bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Inkjet's just at a very big disadvantage when it comes to game modes such as zones in particular. Just because it's not very good at painting the zone. And I feel like in that situation it's more... Oh,
we do see a knot coming out, which... Guess we got a knot and a mini on the other side, so we got a war of the spot link, so the mini's gonna paint way better. That's actually a red... that's orange, that's not red. He's out coming out, so they're gonna have a lot of missiles. And a lot of Booyah bombs as well, because we've got all that Gal's paint. So even though the knot has a little less paint, but between the Zap, the Gal, and the Junior, there's so much paint coming out and so many specials. The knot does go down, and it looks like a nice burst bomb snipe coming out for one of the members of No Title, and it looks like Storm's going for knife back. Getting a double, actually. Taking out two with the end Zap, and they've got armor and bubbles on the right, so they're ready to play defense, and they've got the headshots coming out. We've got Inkjet on the side of R with an RLS, and a Booyah coming out as well. So it looks like everyone's just popping their specials like crazy next 2 seconds, I'm thinking.
the Talent Side of No Title does go down, but they continue to keep that zone with Steffi here using their burst bombs, and R goes down again entirely. That's the second wipe within the first minute, not even.
Yeah, it looks like they're all regrouping on left, but they're going to be in a bit of an awkward choke point. If the tank team keeps the walls up, and they've got the bubbles, the Junior has the bubbles if they can just get it out, and the knot's going down again, which is going to take a lot of the team's killing power. The Booyah's ready, the tank's down, but they did enough time, they spent enough time extracting, the bubbles are out, the Booyah's getting ready to go, the missile's starting to get ready to go, but the Zap goes down before they can use their missiles, and the Booyah's just not going to do enough. The paint's going to come out, the missile's going to come out, and that's going to be a very quick Game 5 with No Title moving on to Grand Finals.
Yeah, that was really well played by No Title here. Just an extremely aggressive just start there, and the aggression never faltered, never stopped, and just continued going. And it worked out for them really well in the end. And while unfortunately R will be not able to go to Grand Finals, they will be going to their third place match with Dynasty Dragon Wave, as we go and see No Title into Grand Finals against Deep Dream.
So, I mean, that's if we don't have a repeat of the infamous Loic Grand Finals, I'd say. I had to, I'm sorry, Destiny Dragon's Wave, if you're watching, but best of luck in your third place matches, and we should be seeing Grand Finals fairly shortly.
And on that note, we will be taking a short break just before Grand Finals.
Hello and welcome to the grand finals of King of the Castle 5. I'm Cork and I'm joined here by Sky.
Hello, and for grand finals here, we're going to be seeing the team that we just saw in semifinals going against the team called R, no title, going against Deep Dream, who took out Dynasty Wave Dragon.
Or Dynasty Dragon's Wave, rather. And we're going to be going to Turf Floor and Inkling Academy, which will determine the team that gets the first counter pick of the grand finals, which is entirely counter picks. And from there, it will be the usual counter pick scheme of whoever loses gets to pick the next map, and there will be a counter pick map pool, and we will try to guess what maps these teams are going to play, and probably be unsuccessful at doing so.
So obviously we saw no title playing, so we know somewhat what to expect from them. Do you know anything about Deep Dream, Cork?
Apparently they've been in King of the Castle Grinds before, and I've heard the name, but I have absolutely no idea about them, other than they have a round team tag with an arrow, which, yeah, I like the symbolism. I'll say that much.
What I know about Deep Dream is more so about the specific player, Isabelle, who I know her as a Tetra one-trick.
We're just seeing some slidey woolly stuff today. Tetras are always a fun weapon. I miss seeing them in like low ink Grinds all the time. Like there were a few months where we saw Tetras, and more Tetra.
Tetra, 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 Tetra. But Tetras, to my knowledge, don't paint very well, so I'm very curious if they will run Tetras here for the Turf War match, or if they'll go 52 gal.
So a lot of pink cards both sides. We're seeing the same comps we've been seeing for the side of no title with that trademark tent and junior combination. We've got a mini on both sides with a zinc mini actually coming out for the side of Deep Dream, which is not something you see often, but it's going to be able to put a lot of paint out, have a lot of mobility occurring while in the rain, it's nothing. And the CDS and a bucket and a cake. So that's double rain, which in turf is actually a really good strategy because it gives so much area control and also paints quite well. And that's a 2-down situation for the side of Deep Dream getting blown up by those bubbles, and no titles looking like they're going to be able to take an early advantage, so it's probably going to be contested fairly shortly.
Both teams here have already had 2 people go down within the first few seconds of this game starting here, and so it feels like it's pretty evenly matched right off the bat. Except for the fact that we have 2 people from Deep Dream instantly go down first thing here. And
like
so
no titles
managing
to hold. Anyway, we got the hammer coming out, getting more picks. No titles holding on. So the tent is going to try to keep some pressure, so we're gonna mine there just to keep a little more paint on the ground. So the CDS has put a lot of paint down. Looks like they're getting ready to set up some kind of counter pressure. Oh, looks like my co-com just muted. So, I guess, yeah, we see no title continuing to kind of hold on. They've got, so it looks like Deep Dream is starting to get a little more map control. And they've got a person advantage. They're going to be able to continue to push up. CDS putting a lot of work, but bubbles coming out, setting off some explosions. Not getting all that much, but they do get an assist and let them take out a member of Deep Dream. So no title's gone 2 down. Deep Dream has finally got a convincing advantage in this situation. Going, or rather getting 3 down on the side of no title. Gal's putting a lot of paint out. They've got Booyah ready. They've got a chance to really do some damage, and it's only 45 seconds left of the match. So now's really what's going to matter, and that try is going to be careful. Mini's trying to crumple. The Booyah's getting ready, the rain's coming out, and looks like they're going to be able to probably see this match unless something crazy happens last rather no title.
Here we have 2 people from the side of Deep Dream backing 1 person from no title back into a corner as they have to jump out, and it just honestly, from what I can see here, this map looks very pink. And in Drew's favorite, however, obviously no title here having complete control of their plat and taking out 3 people from Deep Dream. It looks like this game will be going to no title. Presumably.
This is gonna be so close.
Oh
no, they didn't quite have enough paint. They couldn't paint quite fast enough and just barely see Deep Dream eke out a win. Which means they will getting the first pick, and they've got a lot of maps to choose from actually. With 4 maps for each mode that they can choose for a counter. And we should be hearing about that fairly shortly.
While we wait for them to figure out what they want to counterpick with, there is 4 maps for all of the modes, as you've already mentioned. But for zones, we have Skipper, Schellendorf, Messelforge, and Wahoo. Tower Control, we have Starfish, Mainstage, Anchovy, Inkblot, and Piranha. Rainmaker, we have Blackbelly, Manta, Sturgeon, and Humpback, and then Clamplets, we have New Albacore, The Reef, Snapper Canal, and Magomart.
I can't say too much about Deep Dream, but if they do usually have a Tetra player, I wouldn't be surprised to see something like potentially a more open map, like say Sturgeon Rainmaker or Anchovy Tower, or...
Well, funny enough that you say Anchovy Tower, because our first counter pick will be going to Anchovy on Tower Control for Deep Dream's first counter pick here.
This is an interesting map. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Tetris come up, but I think if the person you mentioned continues from the K-Golf, that could also be really powerful. Keep booming the tower, your opponents can't get on tower. I think we'll see a fairly similar comp coming out of no title, though they may be at a bit of a disadvantage because how long and open this map is. And their longest range is 10, so they may switch it up a little if they want, or they do the mini, but if given Deep Dream's comp, they would be at a range disadvantage. Slightly.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what we're going to be seeing from no title here, as we already know here that Deep Dream has a Tetra player, but I don't exactly know what the rest of them actually play. So their entire weapon pool, aside from Isabel, for me is a little bit of a mystery.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the CDS or VDS come out again, because that's a fairly solid all-around pick, but on this map, rain or missiles is helpful when you're trying to push just to clear your opponents away from those upper areas they can use to defend, and when you're trying to play offense, they're helpful for keeping your opponents from being able to set up. Or playing defense, rather, you keep your opponents from being able to completely clear plot without a little bit more difficulty.
I guess we'll see as our teams are fully ready, and we are currently transitioning into Game 1.
We see the heavy spotling remix come out, which is a pretty good fix to stop the Booyahs to shut things in. And like you said, the Tetros, and then the CDS, and then the Zap. So a fairly standard comp overall, but it's going to be incredibly maneuverable and test will benefit a lot, with a lot of bombs and paint as well. It's going to make this a very powerful comp, and might be what they need to counter Deep Dream's, not Deep Dream's, but no title's tent, and with Isabel getting a really nice pick, going for another, getting another, that's 3 down, the Tent's the only one left, but they're just outmaneuvered by dualies and the shredding fire of the heavy spotlight.
And right off the bat, Deep Dream is going to take that tower and they're going to continue to push, and they're going to get past checkpoint 1 here.
So we've got the Booyah coming out to the side of Deep Dream, looking to clear that upper sniper area just to give them a little more space. It looks like they're holding it until they are 100% sure they need it. They do. They don't die to any of the bombs that No Title's trying to push out. They got No Title has the armor and the Inkcraft, but the heavy splatting is gonna go for it, but they're not quite gonna get it. They're gonna get blown up instead. And Deep Dream is gonna be forced to back off at this point, though they're gonna leave a rain as the parting gift. And oh hey, the Tetris is still there. That's not the Tetris. The Zap was still there, but looks like they also went down to the other Zap on the side of No Title. And we're gonna see No Title actually. Oh wait, they're still in their base trying to clean up, and Deep Dream is getting right back on the tower to put a little more pressure on them. I think at this point they're gonna have to fully back off because they are 2 down, and No Title is coming in hot with all their members trying to clean up the duelies rolling around everywhere.
Here, took out the NZAP from the side of Deep Dream here, and also helped to clean up and take out the Tetris with their friend. And they're gonna try and push with their canopy here, as No Title is currently going and getting their first checkpoint. Sakali, almost looking like they're gonna fall off the map there, is trying their hardest to help their team and stop that tower from getting pushed any further past the first checkpoint. And as both our CDS and Tetris on the side of Deep Dream are doing their best here to keep control of their streak.
They're doing quite a good job. The CDS got a nice pick earlier. Looks like the fall off. They got the rain coming out, which is gonna force No Title to back off for a little bit. So both teams have all numbers up. So Specialist on 9, so it's gonna be a mid fight. Though No Title gets the first pick, gets the NASA getting a double. That's gonna be crucial. And now that Temp's in trouble. They've got 3 people firing on them at all angles. And now Deep Dream is again going to have the initiative. They're in a position of strength right now. They're pushing up onto the plot. They've got the Tetris in a really nice place to just abuse the hell of those ledges. They have the armor coming out. They've got Splashdown right as the Tetris getting out of execution, and boom! There comes the Splashdown. Booyah's coming out. Looks like the Tetris are going to be in their base doing damage. With the CDS providing covering fire, the Zap's just chilling on tower. I don't know what heavy is, but. And it looks like the bombs are coming up from the side of No Title. Try to stop this push. There's only anything left. The Splashdown gets cancelled, and the Heavy's looking for pick. Heavy sort of finds the pick, but it's gonna get chased on their time. They're forced to Booyah to survive, but they're gonna get shredded. They'll get their Booyah off, but they did a lot more damage, pushing it all the way past the second checkpoint, all the way down to 7.
Yeah, Deep Dream here being able to get that lead of 17 remaining versus No Title's remaining of 67, which is a 50 whole point difference between the two. It's such a big push, and No Title's gonna have to do a lot to try and keep up with Deep Dream here. And Isabel here trying to take out this Inkjet. Unfortunately, the Inkjet's going to end up getting a shot on her, taking her out, as this is going to start a push up again for No Title.
They do have their hammer online, but as we did earlier, they don't have any really long-range specialists, so it's going to be difficult for them to clear the plot, especially with the range expansion they're already at. The hammer goes down, isn't able to get any picks, and it looks like we do see Deep Dream swarming onto the tower, cleaning up No Title, though they do lose a member in the process, but No Title loses another one. NASA getting another nice pick with their Zap, setting up for either they can play defensively, they can go for one final push to try to end this, or just run out the timer at this point. They've got the rain ready, they've got the armor ready, they've got the boost. They're gonna be able to at least force No Title back with all these long range specials.
Yeah, Deep Dream here has the pressure, and they have the aggression, as the Remix takes out the Zap here, and popping their Booyah, and they're going to throw it at that tower, and Deep Dream's going to take game 1 here of King of the Castle 5 Grand Finals.
GG Booyah does its job. And we are going to be seeing a counter pick from the side of No Title, which completely different kind of maps that work for them. I wouldn't be surprised to see like Skipper Zones come up for their tent bubble combo, or perhaps I believe Manta Maria was on the map list somewhere, which would also be a good pick with all its tight corridors and stuff.
Yeah, Manta Maria Rainmaker. I feel like
It's really
skipper
good
zones
matches.
would be another nice one.
Yeah. I mean, or they could go for Wahoo zones, I think, could work to their advantage as well. My bet is going to be on, I'm just going to call it skipper zones because I'm a skipper zones fanatic. Where are my Aero MG fans at?
Honestly, I have my bets on possibly Wahoo zones, honestly. Oh,
Okay. So it appears that Sky has won this round at betting what counter-pick map it's going to be. And we're going to see the tent roll through using their very large shield that's going to help them control mid a lot once they get going. So there is still going to be the range disadvantage that we have seen that has been apparent in the first match against Deep Dream.
going into this map mode, something to take into consideration for both teams is the extendable bridge, which is not always extended.
But it's
They
so it is
always-
always extended.
Oh, wait.
This is the one mode where the Wahoo World operators were like bribed or something to stop messing with the carousel.
Stop messing with the carousel, you damn operators.
Yes.
But,
Sorry.
you're fine. But definitely, I feel like this was definitely picked with the tent in mind. I'm very curious if it'll be tent and bubble combo, however, like you previously mentioned.
They seem to be incredibly comfortable with both those weapons, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that. It's just going to come down to which other weapons they decide to use. I would place my bets on the mini and the sap. And Deep Dream, I think, will run a fairly similar comp. And they do, actually, running a very similar comp, so it's making the juniors have a little more paint. And we do see that same comp we've been seeing from No Title, the tent and the bubbles, or the K Junior rather, and the zap and the mini, which gives both teams they're going to have a lot of paint in this situation. It's going to come down to whether the tent can service a lull or whether they just get shredded. We do see actually the mini going down, but the bubbles are coming out and the juniors doing what they're used to doing, but they do get taken out before they can actually do much damage. And we've got the heavy getting their boot ready. It looks like all the members of Deep Dream are fairly close to their specials. The Tetras are backing up, getting ready to see if anyone tries to back cap or anything. But they are in a good position to start playing to lock out the side of No Title.
Yeah, Deep Dream here is doing a really good job of holding that zone. This might have not been the greatest pick, mainly because Deep Dream in general is just very good with their map control and their paint. Even if this does benefit their tent here a lot, it's just a matter if No Title here is able to make some sort of comeback push into the zone. They got it neutralized right now, and their tent's trying to, use their canopy to paint a little bit more. But it looks like they're gonna go down to the Tetris here, and the Booyah, and it looks like they got it for a little bit. So Deep Dream here has to burn through that penalty now.
Yeah, the other thing that's going to work against them, their title here is the Heavy and the Dually. The Heavy's got plenty of nice firing rounds, we're going to cut down the numbers in No Title, the Dualies have plenty of. And also, the side of No Title is a bit low on bombs. It's be difficult if they get into a really sticky lockout situation. Oh, we see the Mini getting a nice, and a 1v1 to CDS. The other side is going to commit to that, they're both going to back off lest they die. And No Title's going to start being able to get some more points on the board now that one member of Deep Dream is down. They're going to have a chance to actually get a good push up and start doing some real damage.
I'm very curious for how long they'll be able to hold the zone for, because from what we've been seeing, Deep Dream is very aggressive. Partnering up and taking one person out because they're doing such. Here, it looks like Hammer's gonna go down to that splashdown from Isabel, as Isabel takes two people out. And
Three, I think they got a delayed triple actually. Crazy. So it looks like No Title hung on. I don't know how they did that, but they hung on. The Mini's going for another pick, and they're not going to get it. They're going to get out by the juniors. Widespread of fire. So both teams are one down, but it looks like at the moment Deep Dream has a special advantage, and they've got multiple specials coming in. They're going to be able to get the zone back here. And yes, they do. The Heavy gets a nice pick. Tent's trying to do something. So Ted just come out with Hammer, but doesn't look like they're able to find anyone just yet. So they throw it, not quite. They almost get the CDS with a Hammer, not quite. Ted's gonna try to push up, but it looks like multiple members of Deep Dream are gonna start moving to that part to try to call them out. And then the Splash Gun Jump's gonna come in, the Booyah's gonna come out. But in all the chaos, it appears No Title has gotten the zone and has the person advantage, so they're gonna be able to start another.
Here we see Anchor taking advantage of his 10th canopy, trying to push through that bridge, and going down, unfortunately. But on the side of Deep Dream, they end up going 3 down, with only their junior being the one that hasn't gone down so far.
Yeah, and they're in a bad situation, though. It looks like they're gonna be... They tried, another 2 down again, they expended their resources. This... it's gonna be lead for No Title, and could be a KO if they put their crush right. They've got the missiles coming out, so there's the Booyah ready for the side of Deep Dream. They've got the Booyah coming out, but there's bombs coming out, and one member of both sides down there, both sides are painting like crazy, and, yeah, alright, okay, so Deep Dream does manage to crush it with a last second splashdown, but it's not gonna hold it for very long with all that Inkling fire from this Title stopping the down and the Booyah, and the bubbles coming out to try to harass Deep Dream even further and ensure a lockout to the side of No Title.
Yeah, here we see K Jr. here is it's camping, waiting to use their torpedoes and trying to get that bubbles up, and their 10th canopy is going to go on the right side. Deep Dream here is going to try and push into that zone with all their power, taking and using that Booyah to their advantage, keeping any possible missiles out of the zone as much as they possibly can, and they're able to keep that cap on the zone right now. And we have 13 seconds and counting remaining. They have yet to burn through this penalty of theirs. They just need to hold on to that zone and get past the remaining 3 that No Title here has been able to hold. And it looks like the mini here is going to come on the right side and they're going to go down. But the bubbles from the K Jr. are going to save No Title, recapping it and making the game 2 here go to No Title.
So yeah, we have 1-1 with that's ensuring at least 3 more games. And well, 15 coming out from the junior and from the Petra, or rather the Zap of the Petra. Though I'm sure some of the Zaps were armor assist, but they still did do a really good job playing aggressively throughout the match. We've seen playing like a Slayer, even though they're an armor in a lot of people's minds. Next counter pick, which is going to be going to instead of Deep Dream. I'm still not quite sure what they might be picking, but looking at the possible counter picks maps, they can't play NTV Tower against Guardian 1 on, I believe. But something like potentially Shell and Zones could play well to their favor, or maybe Sturgeon Ringmaker. So I suppose we shall just have to wait.
I think something to keep in mind is that they have a Tetra player, so they want to play around that. And from what I've seen, Deep Dream hasn't really changed their comps very much, if at all. So it looks like you're going to be going to Tower Control and Inkcraft?
Not the list. It is on the list. Okay, I can read. I'm still feeling clear. I can't read all that well, so don't.
God damn, of course.
Yes, I have the full screen player. Anyway, we're going to be. I think we'll see fairly similar comps here because No Title seems to be incredibly comfortable with what they're already running. Though we may see a couple small weapon changes, potentially to the T-Tech instead of the Mini, and I think Deep Dream doesn't have much reason to change what they have because it's been working and it's good on a map like this.
Yeah, not only that, but this technically should be in Deep Dream's favor, so as a whole, they should be picking a map that they know that they can play something very well on and get away with playing and doing really well. So I don't expect too many changes to come out of Deep Dream, but maybe don't know, cause I feel like no titles comp that they've been running very consistently will also fit this map pretty well too.
Yeah, the hammer might be a bit awkward depending on. It's either going to be absolutely lethal, or we'll get like in an awkward position. Though the narrow corridors in a lot of parts of this map is going to make their hammer fairly effective, and I think we'll see the same things like the rain and the booyah are going to be crucial for the side of Deep Dream if they continue to run it, because it's going to help a lot clearing the plot and really getting pushes started. And we do see, yeah, Zap's coming back out. T-Tech switching in for the mini. I think it's a good pick here. It's going to be a little more maneuverable on a map like this, and give them the Inkjet to clear plot and do a lot of damage that way.
Yeah, we see here that No Title's sticking with that tent and bubble combo. Their tent going down first thing here. But their K Junior here is popping those bubbles, trying to take out that Louie, ending up getting taken out by Isabel and trading the CDS. Not the greatest thing for either side, but
It looks like they still have the initiative though. They got 3 down actually for the side of Deep Dream. And we have No Title getting ready to push up. They're both trying to get off that little ledge. They've got the Inkjet ready. They can really quick clear plat. If Tent wants to push up, they can deploy their hammer doing whatever. So the armor coming out, the Inkjet coming out, the Booyah's gonna slow down tower. And looks like Steffi does die in that crazy amount of specials and enemy fire coming in. So that's another 3 down situation for the side of Deep Dream. And No Title is just rolling on forward.
yeah, No Title here is doing what they did last match to Art and just bringing out that aggression that we didn't expect to see. Just being super aggressive and using it to their advantage. However, unfortunately, this is going to be the end of that push. Getting to a 13, even if that's a wipe, that was a really good push on the side of No Title. Deep Dream is going to have to try and get more control of the map here, as they're going to need to get a little bit past, and honestly, they genuinely need to get that next the very last checkpoint to possibly win this game.
I mean, they're pretty comfortable where they are, but if they want to be sure of the serious, I'm sure they do, they're going to try to go for chaos and get their aggression, and they do get, that's another 2 down situation to the side of, or 3 down, oh, that's a full wipe for the side of Deep Dream, which is going to give No Title another opportunity to push through. And this time they don't have to worry about any checkpoints, so they just need to keep getting picks, and they could get KO. Like, one more wipe is probably going to do it. And the tent's getting set up. It looks like the T-Tech on the side of No Title goes down, forcing the other members to back off, just to be careful. So, looks like we got one member still, excuse me, running around the top. And pick on the side of the armor coming, and, well, the Junior just got surrounded by a duo of dualies, and that was it. And it looks like that's going to be the end of the push for No Title.
It's going to be the end of the push for No Title, but it looks like it might be the start of a push for Deep Dream, which is exactly what they need right now. Being able to capitalize off of No Title having gone 3 down is going to be very good, as we see Isabel here take out the tent and trying to help and take out one other, as it looks like they're going to try and make a flank. Isabel does get taken down, as the K Junior is going to come up behind the tower and pop bubbles and take out.
The zap, but the Booyah gets them, and Deep Dream's still going, so they've only got one more from tower. They're not gonna, they have a jump, but there's bubble, yeah, let's go through the end of their push. They got it away to 40, so they are gonna still win. They're gonna have the setup, and they did break the second checkpoint, which is gonna be critical here, because even though they didn't get the lead, they've got the checkpoints are out of their way. They just need one more good push, and that could be the lead for them, and that's a 3 down situation for the side of their title. Deep Dream got their opportunity now. They just need to hop on tower, get their specials ready, and start doing damage, and, I mean, hopefully take out the zap before the armor comes out, just making this a little easier on them, but they're in a really good position right now.
Zap or K Junior being taken down right now would benefit them greatly.
The T-Tech goes down, and the remix is pushing way up. That's 2 down for No Title, and Deep Dream is cruising for the lead, but looks like someone else went down, and they think they're gonna, but no, they're 2 down, it looks like someone clutched it. It looks like someone went around and from No Title and clutched the game and clutched the tower right before Deep Dream could take the lead. Looks like it was the junior, I think.
Yeah. We see here that Deep Dream is making 2 pushes, both the CDS and the Tetras. Tetra's getting on tower first thing, making sure that that tower gets moved forward, trying to take out that K Junior, being able to take out the K Junior, but going out to the T-Tech here. T-Tech here taking out 3 hitting a quad, I believe, here.
Yes, it's ripping them apart, and that's going to be most likely the game for no title. The tower really far away from Deep Dream, so one goes to... They could get on? Oh, they do get on the tower! They do get on the tower, but then someone, Storm comes in and takes the both members out with a nice last-minute play. Going to be game 3 of 7 going to the side of no title. And now we're going to see at least 6 more games, but they only need to win 2 more, and Deep Dream's got some work to do to come back. Now we will wait the next counter pick.
But while we wait on the next counter pick, we can also make speculations of what we might possibly see, since it is still Deep Dream's counter pick here.
Yeah, I'm not going to put too many guesses in. It's kind of hard to say. The comp works on so many different maps, it's a bit difficult to tell. So what do you think Deep Dream's going to have to do, though, to counter what No Title's been doing?
Well, if we keep in mind that No Title has been pretty much running the same thing that they've been doing, but specifically they're just being very aggressive about it. Something that we noticed happen at the very end of semifinals against R, which I think is following in here to grand finals against Deep Dream, and it's paying off in their favor.
Yeah. I think either Deep Dream needs to counter that aggression, or they need to find maps that are going to help them use their range. No, they pull out Splatoon and Skipper, which is an interesting choice, especially given that No Title is going to have a lot of strengths here with that tent and those bubbles, just using the choke points up top. Though the bottom, we could see the heavy and the CDS really go ham with the range advantage. So I think it really could go either way for these teams.
Not only that, but I feel like No Title has the real advantage here, as we keep in mind that No Title's very, very comfortable with their tent and their junior, specifically K Junior, that has that bubbles and tent. So the tent canopy is just really good to be putting onto the zone, and it can be done from either the top part of mid, or it can be done from bottom mid. And just how the map's designed with the zone, there's 2 walls on either side of the zone, so those bubbles will be staying inside the zone if they pop them in there, and can pop and cap the zone really easily. So I'm very curious. I'm just very curious to know what's possibly going through Deep Dream's mind here with knowing what they are currently running on the opposing side in mind.
Yeah, the other problem is, the thing is, the open areas in the top, the very top and the bottom are going to work really well for the dualies, and the area in the bottom is going to work really for the heavy, the control space, or if they're firing from the snipe up top. But in that middle area around the zone, the dualies are going to be a bit hemmed in. So the heavy is going to have a field day, having a nice straight line of fire that can just control. So it should be interesting to see whether which team's area control methods are more effective. And we do see a H3 actually coming out, giving them a bit more range. It looks like Deep Dream is just going to try to emphasize the range advantage in order to defeat No Title.
Which, honestly, I don't see that as being a bad thing here. Because you have the remix and then you have the H3. If you can use those 2 as range to your advantage as well, alongside the armor and such, it can definitely help you. But it looks like they're going to be struggling a lot, as you see K Junior and Tent partnering up as little buddies here, keeping control of the zone, and Remix here is trying hard to not pop that. Yeah, but they're going to take out the zap, but unfortunately going down to that K Junior, as all 3 of their Title's teammates are in that zone. And they're using that aggression, keeping that zone painted, using what Junior is known best for painting that zone specifically. And just in general.
Yes, they are gonna go. They're gonna screw down, but it looks like Deep Dream's got 2 down. The bubbles are gonna come out, and the Junior's gonna they're not gonna stay alive, but they're gonna get a pick, which is gonna mess up Deep Dream even more. The 10's gonna get a nice wreck, and they get down to 75, but the side of the tire's gonna keep capping. The Blue's gonna come out as a panic, and the Remix gets a pick off? Whoa! They managed to get a pick off before they're flanked around by the Mini. The Mini gets a nice double. Popping missiles as well. Looks like Deep Dream still got a heck of a penalty to chew through, but they're gonna have to. But they're gonna be able to extend their lead, looking at how many picks are going down for them on the side of Deep Dream.
Yeah, here no title is just they're burning through that penalty, and now they're currently just biding time, keeping that zone painted as long as they possibly physically can, and locking Deep Dream out further to secure that KO here possibly. And here we see a 10 takes out 2 people with that hammer, and they're currently stuck in this 1v1, keeping control of the zone using their canopy. 8, 7, 6, and they stop at 6 here as it looks like it's a fight for the zone. As they recap and they KO. No title taking game 4 here.
Yes, what was critical there is you saw the 10th get in fight the CDS, but instead of actually trying to take out the CDS, they focused on just staying alive, letting the zap jump into them, and then they moved, which allowed them to get enough paint to hold the zone despite the rain. And then the rest of their team made sure the other members went down. The other members of Deep Dream went down, and that allowed them to continue. Because if they had instead of tried to fight the CDS, it likely could have gone in the CDS's favor, or the CDS could have just moved around the tent and taken the jump down, which may have given them the opportunity to recap with the rain.
I'm honestly just. We started off with Deep Dream having like a really strong start here, being able to like very, very closely win the first turf war match to decide who gets the winning counter pick, and then winning game 1 that counts towards your actual score. But I'm just a little shocked is all.
And we're gonna see Piranha Pit Tower Control. Looks like a next map. At least I think that's what it. Yeah, that's Piranha Pit Tower Control. It's another very cramped map. I'm interested in Deep Dream is using this one because there are some places where long range weapons come into play, but a lot of this is going to be cramped. This is going to be tight. And we saw how not only did new titles 10 and Junior work well here, but all their members seem very comfortable with cramped situations and just playing aggressively in 1v1s, or even 2v1s, which is the kind of situation we're going to see in a lot of this map, given how the tower just wraps around the middle of the map.
Yeah, I just want to see no title being aggressive more. Honestly, like I'm loving what I'm seeing from them. They come in. You don't expect them to be doing as well as they are in some of the map picks, but you see them come in. They get picks on maybe 1 or 2 members, and then they take out the entire opposing team, and they continuously lock them out, and they continue that aggression, and it just, mwah, it's beautiful, and I love it.
Yes. There's something really nice about Deep Dream's comp as well. I like seeing all the duelies rolling around, and I'm surprised that Nintendo's been able to adapt to that as well as they have, because it's very easy for them to get outmaneuvered. The somewhat cramped maps has probably helped them in their favor. And we see the same really aggressive coming out from both sides, from Nintendo Mother, and then the slightly longer range, more, I guess you could say, sort of traditional comp coming out to the side of Deep Dream.
Yeah, we see that Zap, that the original H3 is gonna go back to Zap, probably for something that's a little bit more consistent, not really so dependent on having to use your range or fall off too much. Unfortunately, the tent on the side of No Title is gonna go down, but No Title, like the champs that they are still making a push here.
making a push. Oh wait, that is the title. I'm very confused, sorry. I got confused. Yes, so their title is moving ways their base, the bubbles bouncing up onto the higher reaches of plat, the H coming out, and they're gonna continue, they're getting all the way down to 50, they're approaching the second checkpoint, there's one down on both sides, but another one goes down for Deep Dream, and the Judy gets a crucial trade. They're staying enough up, and the tent shield is gonna come up, that Tetra is gonna be okay. And the Tetra is gonna outmaneuver that Ted, because once their shield's out, they're slow, and against the Tetra, they're not gonna, even with the shotgun block, it's not gonna be enough.
It was a really good try from the tent, though, and at the end of this push so far, at least I'm presuming it was the end of No Title's push. I don't know, No Title likes to pull some, you know, little funky stuff, and sometimes they're able to take that tower back. But it looks like that they're currently locked down. That push of 37 remaining, as opposed to, you know, Deep Dream still having yet to get past that first checkpoint.
I'm not sure if there's a double or triple for between. So between the bubbles and the main with the good one, and that's I think the delay.
It wasn't before.
It's a triple now, if not like quad. And they've already taken down 2 of the checkpoints. They're gonna breeze right through, or not breeze right through, but it's gonna be, they won't get the tower stop. But the dualies ending up as like a 2v1 dying, and then the CDS being pushed back into a corner, getting shoved into a corner by Tetsu. It looks like they didn't get squished. They got killed by the cage, but and the cage getting another nice pick, jumping over the ledge. K-Shot looking for yet another, getting another, taking another Tetris. Inkcraft coming out, keeping Deep Dream all the way in their base, just shooting at the shield. Deep Dream can't get out. They do get the rail deployed, and the score is ticking down for No Title even further, getting all the way down to 25. Another forced to, or 24 rather. Another forced to back up a little. And they've got the armor coming out. It's a 3v3 situation, and it looks like no, they've got 2 down. It's going to be difficult for them to continue to push here, but they've done even more damage.
Something that they can do, which you can see over here from Storm, is just keeping up that map control, because the map control is going to be the most important thing for them to keep up with, because as long as they can keep that up, they can pretty much move and do just about anything that they need to or want to here. It looks like here on the side of Deep Dream, they're going to go 3 down, 1 being able to take out Storm, and then the 10th being able to make a trade to basically make a comeback and take back that their key tech here had ended up going down.
Yes, looks like they're always going to try to fall from it. It doesn't look like Deep Dream's maneuverability is severely restricted by all the incoming fire, but looks like they still had enough to get encircle the tower. Impressively, I guess that's the power of Tetra's many rolls. Rolling around the map and doing what they do best, and we see this up. Looking like they're trying to get some paint on, they're getting some map control. The Tetris is pushed way up. They've got 3 specials, they've got the first advantage, and they do have and Deep Dream does have a chance to get another pick, taking another 10, which is going to be crucial, so it's going to stop a lot of No Title's defensibility. And then we see the splashdown jump coming in, and didn't get anyone, but still pretty explosion.
Yeah, I see splashdown jumps, especially from Tetras. It's very nice to see them being used in such a really good way, because usually when you think of the special splashdown, you think of something that only you can use to help keep yourself alive. But what Isabel's doing here is it's not only helping their teammates, but it's also keeping map control up, so even if they're just, you know, they don't have any map, then they're able to fix that very easily with the click of a stick.
Yes, and that's a 3 down situation from the side of No Title. It looks like Deep Dream's finally got the opportunity they need. They've got the specials. They're gonna get. They're flying through that checkpoint. I think they all their members on. They've still got 2 specials. They could get lead here. They could definitely get lead here. Splashdown's coming out. Armor came out. Wait for it. They take the lead. All the specials come out. That's a full white for the side of No Title. And Deep Dream is saying, we are not losing yet. We are going to keep this set going, and or it's gonna go into overtime. I take that off. Yeah.
All of Deep Dream gets wiped here.
I was getting good so they're gonna win, but they stopped at 1. Okay, so they actually now they're like, yep, nope, we win. So that's now gonna be 3-2, still in favor of No Title, but Deep Dream is still in the fight.
So we're currently 2 and 3. Deep Dream with a score of 2 and No Title with a score of 3. As both of these teams show, we're not gonna be going down without a fight.
Guess there's still need to be a counter pick for the side of no title this time. Which means I think I would not be surprised to see another cramped map coming out.
It'll be very interesting to see what No Title has in store. As we only have 2 zones maps left, 2 TC maps left, and all of the Clan Blitz and Rainmaker maps are still up for grabs.
Yeah, it would be nice to see those. A bit of Clan Blitz or Rainmaker, because we have been seeing a lot of tower control wasn't in zones, which is surprising because those maps, you don't have some of the crazy stuff like in Rainmaker and Clams where things can flip on a dime who's winning, but I would hope that we'll see a bit more of those maps because it's always nice to see more than 2 modes in Grand Finals.
I feel like Rainmaker would be a very good mode combo to pick here, because it's a very quick mode, and especially if that's what No Title is going for in regards of ending the set as much as they possibly can, which
it looks like they
funny.
are going for Rainmaker on Black
Funny
Boy
I
Skate
say
Park.
that.
I would have expected them to go Manta, just because the tent could maybe be used to a little more effect here. But Black Boy is another good map, and I believe... Did they play this last round, or was that 2 rounds ago? I cannot remember.
I'm going to say that was probably 2 rounds ago, because I don't recall...
Oh, that was way back in round 2 of groups, my apologies. But yes, we are going to be seeing the CJet friendly map. I would not be surprised to see a Stingray. Though it looks like Deep Dream is fairly comfortable. Both teams are fairly comfortable with their comps, though maybe Deep Dream's going to pull out like a V Heavy or a CJet. Just because this map is a nice one to have Stingray on.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Deep Dream changed anything at all. It looks like they're just kind of like, yep, we're all just gonna press A. We're not changing our comp here, and we're gonna use it and just go with it.
Yep. Oh, they do bring out a V Heavy actually, giving them that Stingray, which I think is, in addition to the range advantage and maneuverability advantage they already have over No Title, the Stingray is going to provide a lot of advantage here. It's going to increase the range advantage. It's also going to give them a push-stopping tool that No Title doesn't have. We see the Tetris getting a pick of the T-Tech, but getting missiled and burst bombed to death by the Heavy, and we're going to see a bit of a stalemate in mid with both teams looking, though, at least in terms of specials, No Title has advantage. Oh, and there's a Sting, and there's a Sting, so I take that back. Time for some chip damage.
Yeah, something I'd like to point out here is that No Title does a really, really good job here of painting their base and just painting the map and the areas where it matters most. Because they know with Rainmaker, they're going to be... the opposing team here is going to want to push into their base. Whereas you see here that on the side of Deep Dream, they didn't really paint their base very much. They just kind of went in with the thought process of, we want to get pop, which is not bad, but it does leave you at a disadvantage in cases like this, where you have a tent just coming in and, continuously painting around you.
In that case, the tent put themselves at disadvantage. They try to go for play with the Stinger, but it's quite in range, and they end up exposing themselves. The tent shield kept them alive for a little longer, but they couldn't really do much more. And that push only at 64 is very easy to get a lead on this map. And the T-Tech goes down to CDS. Almost shooting on the wall, but not quite. Yet another Ray coming out. Looks like this V Heavy has become a siege at part. And another member going down to the side of No Title. And that's the nice shot. 3 down, that's 3 down. And looks like Deep Dream's gonna get the lead. And I don't know how to survive that, but they managed to survive that. They managed to dodge all this fire. They're gonna go for KO. And they're stopped at 4.
No Title here is stuck in a very sticky predicament here, needing to regain control of their base map control wise, and also in the process of trying to get that Rainmaker out of their base, away from the pedestal as much as they possibly can. Because leaving it where it is to reset seems very dangerous in this scenario, because if they're not careful, somebody flanks and does the right thing with a flank, they can very easily take advantage of that and get the KO that they were originally going for.
Yes, but they don't really need the KO that much. The team doesn't need the KO that much. They just need to keep holding on and just keep enough pressure on No Title they can. No Title, it seems to be working. They've had a couple of members down though. Looks like they're starting to get their feet back under. They're getting picks, but they're still so far from the Rainmaker and just trying to get map control back. Oh, actually they're close to finish that. They go to grab it, but not quite. It's reset. Both sides are one down. Though without the tank, it's going to be a lot harder for No Title to push. But they do have those bubbles, but they don't have the tent shield that paints up. That also would help paint up and provide defense. And the Stingray is online for whenever No Title tries to push them.
No Title here is going to want to try and take out that heavy before they try and make any pushes here. However, it looks like that Deep Dream here is going to take No Title down by 3, leaving just the tent here alive with their hammer and canopy.
Yes, and they are starting to push a little further forward. The Rainmaker's going for some picks, doesn't get any, is taken out. But they have accomplished what they really wanted to, is stall out No Title and keep them from being able to set up a push of their own for as long as they can. Though No Title is starting to push forward. They're starting to get ready for that. I don't know where the Rainmaker is. And they are grabbing it, but I think the Rainmaker might be a bit behind. And actually, it's going to be now it's just a race to see if the Rainmaker catches up with their team, or the Deep Dream catches up with the Rainmaker, and Deep Dream catches up with the Rainmaker. It looks like a cheeky pick came out with the Autobomb from the Tetras, and then they take out the Rainmaker that's been exposed by the Stingray.
Fortunate here as we watch that K Jr. does some really nice maneuvering, taking out the people who are on top of the Rainmaker, but unfortunately going down to the CBS who were right behind them. And so far here, even though No Title is very good with painting and has like a lot of just general paint around in their base as they focus that first thing, it's been a lot of back and forth in general with painting their base and such here.
It's been a lot of back and forth, but there was one brutal push, and that's going to be the game, and we're going to be going into a decisive Game 7 Grand Finals. Thank God it's not double elimination or I'd cry.
You and me both, Quark. You and me both.
Yeah.
Not to say that a Game 7 is necessarily wrong here, or bad.
It's, yeah.
But, one wrong move, and if it was double elim, then we would have a bracket reset from the side of No Title. But thankfully, it is single elim.
And we have, well, lots of fast counter picks, flat zones on Muscle Forge Fitness. I mean, who's picking this? Oh, No Title is picking this. Which,
yeah,
it's a good cramped map, but it's also just the way the grates are positioned and all the open firing lines. If the tank can get into a good place, it's going to be good for them, and the way they like to play out in cramped situations. But if the side of Deep Dream can keep everything open, it's going to be very bad for No Title.
Yeah, I feel like they were so quick to be able to pick, mainly due in part of the fact that once you already have to pick like 1-2 counter picks here, you're kind of just like, man, should have a third counter pick ready just in case.
I mean, or they've just stopped caring too much about one map and they're just going whatever feels right. Which is valid if you've just been beaten on your own counter picks a couple times and it's like, alright, we need to do this.
Honestly, it's a really good idea for, in general, like, just planning things out and such.
Yes, and I don't anticipate many comp changes. I think we'll see more of the same, really, and it's just going to come down to whether the range and the rolling all over the map wins for Deep Dream, or whether the mechanical skill in tight spots and the shields from the bubbles in the tent come out for the and win for the side of no title. Oh, and a K shot. We haven't. It's interesting to see that. It makes sense because minis are gonna be awkward on the slopes, and Inkjet is occasionally awkward, especially on zones for this map. So instead, they're opting for more longer range specials, which I think will help them since they're already at a range disadvantage. And one is already going down for no title, and the early cap is going to go to Deep Dream. Oh,
It's gonna go to
that's
Deep
a
Dream here, and that's
nice pick on the tent with a bomb.
also a very easy pick on that with that bomb. As no title here is going to go to 2 down first thing off. But it looks... right now it's just a fight for the zone here, as we have no title trying their best to use their specials, popping the bubbles here. Looks like they're gonna get zoned, but being outnumbered,
They're not even gonna get zoned.
Gonna go down, they're gonna get wiped.
Yeah, while the K Junior was out there getting bubbles, it looked like 2 of their team members had gone down, so the rest of Deep Dream could just paint over the bubbles and take out the K Junior, and it's timer's already at 20s. We see a CDS bomb spamming because they don't have any firing lines. Looks like they're going to move toward mid to intercept that's going for it, but doesn't look like there's many specials on the side of Deep Dream. Oh, that's a hammer. But no title has gone down. They're 3 down, and that's going to be the game. With Deep Dream being like, so yeah, you guys got 3 matches off of us. Okay, and we're just gonna come right back. Getting almost a reverse sweep.
Getting almost reverse sweep, but not quite. Making sure to show, hey, we're not gonna go down just that quickly. We're gonna put on a show before we end this. Ending in a fantastical Game 7. Which is going to crown Deep Dream as the winners of King of the Castle 5.
Yes, and second place will be going to no title, and I don't know who won the third place match, but I'm sure they won the third place match. I think that's going to be all from us then. How about...
Taking a look at third place
and
match,
R
it looks like R
match.
does take the win there. So at least they came in within the top 3. At the very least.
Yeah.
But that's gonna do it for us now.
Yeah, I just commentated almost an entire tournament, so I am really dead. And if y'all want to find my socials, that was at Strange Cork on Twitter, which I'm sure you saw on the stream, and that's all for me. Have a good day, everyone.
And if you want to find me, my @ is @SkyTheDemon. Virtually everywhere, and I hope you all have a good night / day, or whatever time it might be for y'all. And see you for the next King of the Castle.
Yeah.